What do you guys know about Twomad? I'll tell you what I know. Twomad is a content creator with millions of subscribers. He was one of the biggest up-and-coming creators of his generation. Came up around the same time that, like, you know, people like Call Me Carson and Jay Schlatt were coming up. And he was doing very well. Now, initially, he started off... This is the Twomad channel, but the initial Twomad channel was actually his other channel, which is now called Twomad 360. Hey. And on this channel, he started off making Overwatch edits, which you guys may have seen if you were in the Overwatch community. I played a little Overwatch, but not a ton. I wasn't really an Overwatch person. But, you know what? This is how we started off. And people love these videos.
You're going to love this. Trust me. What you're seeing now is my normal state. This is a Super Saiyan. Stay off the weed.
So it was sort of like a YouTube poop MLG montage parody type thing, harken back to old YouTube, and people love these videos, right? He did very well off of these videos. I mean, this one has 2 million views, and he was a great editor. He definitely contributed to the global knowledge and skill base around editing and like how to get things done, how to make it entertaining. Because the thing with his videos was like every single second there was stuff going on. Every single second there was always a new thing. Well, eventually he stopped doing the Overwatch edits. He started, you know, showing his face a little more. He started being more of a personality, and he starts streaming, and he becomes one of the biggest content creators of our generation, who you guys probably remember best for the Goodnight Girl meme. Now, the video was originally in a video titled, My Life's Biggest Bruh Moments.
Oh, hey, I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's all right. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
This video has 7 million views, by the way. And this video is literally just a compilation of random videos of him, right? Literally just a compilation of random videos of him hanging out, having fun, acting dumb, acting silly. And he blew the f up. He was extremely popular during this time for the memes like this. This video was actually featured in PewDiePie's YouTube Rewind video at the time, where he was like, YouTube Rewind, but it's good. This video was in it. Twomad was officially recognized by, at the time, the biggest YouTuber of all time. And still someone who's a legendary creator, right? Well, Twomad, at the peak of his popularity, started to fall off. He stopped uploading as much. He started tweeting all the time. The videos became much more low effort, and nobody really knew why. Well, eventually, I actually got in a call with Twomad. This is before my stream. This is before anything happened. This was a private call we had just randomly. I had talked to him a little bit here and there. Actually, years ago, there was a point in time where Twomad did a cameo in a video of mine. I actually don't remember which video, but he said something to the... I don't even remember what it was. But I had him do like some random cameo in a video of mine that he just recorded on his phone, and it was funny. And he was one of the biggest content creators at the time, so, you know, I appreciated that from him a lot. But I had a call with him. That call was, I want to say, a month before the stream I ended up doing with him, which I'll explain in a moment. But during that call, I was asking him, like, what's up? Why aren't you making videos? And he basically said that he was depressed because there was something with a girl going on, and it was just bumming him out. He broke up with a girl, and that kind of had him in a bad mood, right? But he seemed like he was trying to get back on the wagon. That seemed to be the case. Well. Eventually, some allegations were dropped about Twomad from a girl named Goldilocks. Now, I made videos about this at the time. Sorry, Goldie Bells, I believe was her name. This video is where I covered it. Ag, who says he harassed in like a serious story, but you know, from an entertainment perspective, which what I do is entertainment, it's getting old for me personally. Thank you, Mickey, for the dono. Which is why the last, you know, quite a few videos have not been about Twitter, Me Too's, or whatever. But obviously now and then I cover it. I mean, just parody and satire.
Like this edgy comedian style YouTuber known for making memes and always doing satire. Well,
he's doing satire, guys. He's doing satire. He's doing edgy comedy. It's just for satirical purposes. It's just parody and satire. That's the worst thing to come from 2016 YouTube. The destruction of the meaning of the word satire and like parody.
now we're starting to find out some of this isn't satire. But before we get into that, you might know him a couple months ago. He went viral for doing a collab with Bella.
How did I forget this? Also, how does Keemstar not know her name is Belle? You guys probably remember this is like a huge collab that he did back in the day. Like actually a huge collab. I mean, with the biggest, like, OnlyFans creator of our generation, biggest like star kind of our generation, right? This video is brought to you by G Fuel, the world's leading energy drink brand. They sell these little tubs of powder that you can mix with water and then just get going. It's that easy. It's got an amazing taste. It's clean, caffeinated energy that will keep you laser focused while watching skibbity toilet videos all day. And there are 40 servings of this stuff in every single tub, so it's a lot of bang for your buck. And right now for March, it's G Fuel Madness, where you can buy one tub and get another one absolutely free. They just sent me this Naruto Sage Mode G Fuel, which is excellent. And I've also got my personal favorite here, Blue Ice, which is just a great flavor. Mixes with water really well, and like once again, like it tastes great. And the best part about it is there's no crash or jitters after I drink it. Don't be a loser. Buy G Fuel today with my link in the description below and in the top comment, so you can get the best powdered energy on the market, and so they keep giving me money. I like that a lot. Thanks for watching. Back to the video. I like that a lot. Thanks for watching. Back to the video. Well, where did the accusations come from? Where did it all start? Well, at one point on Twitter, Twomad tweeted out this. He said, "I have girlfriend, look bro." When he was in the middle of schizo posting, he posted a picture of Brianna. She was a dead trans teenager from England who was murdered by two people, apparently for her trans identity. And Twomad was posting a picture of her. I think she was also underage at the point of this picture. I think she was 16 or something. So people start calling Twomad a horrible person who mocks trans people, transphobic, stuff like that. And that was around the same time that Goldie Bell decided to talk about her experience with Twomad. Now, all these tweets are now deleted. So I have to go through the archives to find them now. But I will find them. And what did Goldie Bell allege? What was her initial tweet about it? You're really going to do me like that, dude? You're just going to wipe your account. There is an archive, thank God. And thank God the Wayback Machine is the fastest website in the known land. So we can get it really fast and cool. She tweeted out, "Twomad is psychotic. What he said about the trans girl is the way he is IRL. He's way worse IRL. Most psychopathic person I've ever known. If you're reading this, Medea, this isn't an excuse to try talking to me again. I'm completely serious about involving the police." This was the initial tweet she made. Now, she also made a number of other tweets where she showed that he was basically stalking her, spamming her with messages, being a crazy person, and eventually that culminated in an allegation of assault. He was the king of ketamaxing. He definitely was ketamaxing, dude. He was going crazy with the ketamaxing. Nick says, "Tom, check DM." I will in a sec. I haven't gotten to the document yet, though. Well, allegations come out. Twomad starts posting over and over and over. Eventually, a lawsuit happens, and eventually, I had him on my stream. This is the Twomad interview. 400,000 views. This video was later cited in the lawsuit or protection order, whatever you want to call it, that was filed against Twomad, against Medea Sadiq. Me and Gokanaru were present for this, and it was very interesting experience, you know. This stream definitely didn't make Twomad look good, I would say. I would say that, if anything, he admitted to being obsessive, borderline stalking. He showed us a video of her crying where he was like constantly trying to touch her leg or whatever, and she didn't like it. There was a lot of shit like that in there. He also claimed that while they were together, the impetus for their relationship was that he messaged her asking if she wanted to suck his dick for money, and she said yes, and she did it several times according to him. So I mean, that's basically the way that their relationship started in his eyes. But in his mind, it did eventually, you know, it did end in a relationship. And in her eyes, they never dated. So that's just one contradiction. She eventually filed an emergency protective order against him, saying that she was in fear of her life. Twomad went crazy, basically, lost his mind, was addicted to ketamine, and it was on a certain day that we found out Twomad had passed away. This is just big bullet points here. We're going to have to go more in depth in this document, as you can imagine. YouTuber Twomad, dead at 23, investigated as possible OD. An eerie fact about one of the last things Twomad appears to have been doing before he passed. According to his Discord page, he was playing Overwatch and seems to have not changed his active status for over 1 week. Law enforcement sources tell us the internet personality, who has millions of followers across his various YouTube channels and social pages, was found unresponsive Tuesday night at his Los Angeles area home. This is after somebody called in to ask for a welfare check. I thought it was wellness, but whatever. Welfare, dude. Just because he's black doesn't mean you can joke about that, TMZ. We're told Twomad hadn't been heard from in several days by concerned parties, and he even missed some appointments. As a result, the LADP was sent to check on him, and that's when they found his body, although it's unclear how long he'd been in that state. Our sources say there was drug paraphernalia found on the scene, and at this point, we're told it is being investigated as a possible overdose. No foul play suspected in the death. Well, what happened after that? Well, what happened after that was that Jameskii, someone who had a beef with him a long time ago, and who I actually spoke to recently about the situation, ends up tweeting out about Twomad a big tweet. I can finally say it. Twomad was a pedophile. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states to investigate a lot of horrible things he's done. He wanted to take out multiple innocent lives by getting behind a wheel and going head-on on a freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed once, as he overdosed before killing everybody, so he tried it again. Despite him trying to murder me and multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe. Doesn't hurt and doesn't harm anybody. Please remember that he's a pedophile who continued to prey on the vulnerable even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. This tragedy doesn't excuse any of his actions. I will address a lot of stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. Past few months have been a total mess, and the reason why I ended up in the ER. Please give me time. Now, seeing something like this, obviously the biggest concern for someone like me is, where is the proof? Where is the proof for any of this? A lot of commentary YouTubers are giving him saying he lied. Well, we're going to find out today. We're going to find out if he told the truth or if he lied. We've got an entire 52-page document, okay, to go over in regards to the Twomad situation. And it's probably going to get crazy. Whatever happens, whether Twomad is guilty, whether Twomad is innocent, it's going to get crazy. Now, Jameskii tweeted out a lot about this. Rubber Ross said, "This is a lot, but yeah, I witnessed firsthand Twomad's threats on James's life during TwitchCon. Couldn't even go home because he knew his address and was en route to Vegas after threats. We had used our hotel room to hide out, waiting for law enforcement." As opposed to this super long tweet. When my friends and colleagues say that my life was in constant danger, they're not just talking about threats. Within a short time frame, I had a bullet hole put in my office window. Was told to wear a concealed bulletproof vest when I'm in public. Witnessed a SWAT team with ballistic shields outside of my home and had to cooperate with an anti-terrorism unit when the made implications of people's lives being in my control at TwitchCon, leading to the entire convention center being surrounded by police SUVs. This isn't even all the things I, my colleagues, and my close ones had to endure just to give a perspective. I don't think I need to explain why I was not talking about it publicly, but if multiple people coming forward confirming what I said is true isn't enough, a lot of information is now public records and can be accessed by anyone. There was never a lawsuit at any point. There were court orders that led to multiple cases, civil and criminal. Once again, this has never been a lawsuit. A lot of things are public records and always have been. It was never about money. He lied to the public, and some morons ate it up despite court cases being public records. The justice courts in multiple jurisdictions deemed it necessary to provide restraining orders to protect the victims and witnesses and those around them. The burden of proof was on the prosecution, and it was met in full. The courts issued multiple permanent restraining orders for multiple of the victims, as he was vicious, unhinged, and violent, going out of his way to hurt not just his victims, but those who were close to them, all just to inflict maximum damage on everyone he's hurt. Twomad has been caught destroying evidence, sending death threats to witnesses, and fabricating stuff to brainwash his audience. The judge shut down his lies during the hearing, and all of this is public records. Just a reminder that this guy got caught hiding in the court's cafeteria when he realized he would have to go see one of his victims in person again. This is the same guy who was dancing on the grave of a murdered child just a year ago. I think this is in regards to Brianna Gray. This is the same guy who secretly recorded multiple videos of him committing crimes, including assault and pointing a gun at one of his victims. He shared those videos with friends, but was mortified to find out the court had gotten a hold of them. This is public records once again. I was told the arrest warrant was supposed to go just before the final overdose. There are multiple reasons why it took so long. The main reason being that the investigation involved many jurisdictions in multiple states, and the amount of everything they had to go through has been insane. Outside of direct messages, phone calls, and live streams, he tweeted over 17,200 times since early August alone. Also, some people interfered with the investigation, and I'm waiting on confirmation whose names I can bring on today. Now, one of those people has now been named. I believe that person is Just a Minx. I do have to state here that these are all allegations, and this isn't just like a legal disclaimer. This is also just a disclaimer. Like, I genuinely don't know what happened here. You know, I wasn't there. So everything we're going to learn today is going to be from Jameskii's document that he released. All while a lot of information is public or will be soon made public by the authorities, please don't bring up the victims' names and don't wish ill will on Twomad's family. I can't stress enough that despite what he put me and others through, leading to my health complications and maybe end up in the ER, I've been actively making sure he doesn't overdose, and while the DAs were preparing everything for prosecution, we were going to great lengths to make sure he doesn't get hurt and get the help he needed. Meanwhile, his rabid fan base has been encouraging him to continue what he has been doing, attacking his victims directly, and encourage others to do the same. This isn't the hill you should die on. Stay safe. Here we have a picture of some police officers with their faces blurred. Here we have what looks like a bullet hole in a window. Here we have a picture of a bunch of, I don't even know what this is. Is this police reports? I guess that's what's being implied here. The little sheriff thing. I thought that was the Star of David for a second. And here we have a picture of, I guess this is him being billed from the hospital. I don't know. I don't understand how he ended up in the ER as a result of this guy still, but we're going to find it out. We're going to find it out. Now, around the time of his death, a lot of videos came out about Twomad. Videos just talking about his death more generally, but also videos of the moments leading up to his death, which are pretty disturbing, actually, if you take a look at them. Here I have a video titled Twomad Stripping Out Prior to Passing. I believe this is from his Discord server.
What the f is going on with this dog? The f is going on with this? Why is he taping his arm? What? What?
He doesn't even look like him. He looks like a different person. It's pretty disturbing. He's like attempting to attach a crutch to a bag or something.
What is he? What? What is he gonna do with that dongle?
He's attaching like a dongle that you used to like put in an SD card to like a crutch or something on his floor. You can see he's got some weights here.
What?
He's got like some kind of mystery machine, like lunchbox over here. I don't even know what's going on here. And there's a lot of videos like this that if you click on them, it's just like, it's like this, right? And we've also got this video called Twomad Plan to Do It, which is from the last moments of his life, basically. Amazing stream layout, by the way. What am I looking at, Twomad? Nikola Tesla and Do It Again. Also, something pass, consent pass.
Wow, that's awesome.
About holding it down.
Never mind.
I ain't a quitter. Watch here.
I'm bound with purpose.
Surrender to my will.
It's done.
He just seems totally out of it.
Heroes never die.
So the stream stops, but then I saw this comment. After watching some minutes of the stream, I'm more certain that his OD was likely a suicide attempt. Look at how in the beginning he talks about the live viewer count, something he didn't care about for months, and he knew it was just going to plummet down. As if this stream was literal hours before his death, which happened around 11 p.m., his time judging by his last Discord message, and he didn't stream for a while before this. This stream was likely his test to see if he still had a reasonably sized audience on YouTube, which he didn't have anymore.
That's not what I was originally talking about. What was it that I was talking about? Oh, the viewer count's dropped by 100. What was it that I was originally talking about? First one to remind me gets the $10 that I got on stream. Just kidding. I'm not giving you shit. It's not black stuff. It's the question you cannot answer ever. Why? No, don't say that. Say it!
We've got another video here. That one's pretty disturbing. This one is titled Twomad foreshadowing his death in the last stream. We already saw that one. Same clip. We have this video.
I have...
Okay, that's not really important. So this one is his Instagram stories in the days leading up to his death.
Right now.
Happy New Year! It's fucking Monday! Tuesday, Wednesday, so don't fucking look at me! Bitch, I'm... No! Done. Faces, missing my heart is ready to die.
We made a bet. And now I'm angry. And now this is you losing that bet.
But he did seem like he was definitely losing his sanity in the final days. I think it's clear that there's something wrong with this guy, especially from the video of him in his room trying to attach a crutch to a dongle. I don't know what he could have possibly been thought he was doing there. But, you know, the Twomad thing is really, I wouldn't say I'm depressed about it, but it's a very weird feeling for me because, you know, Twomad was talking to a few YouTubers in the days leading up to his death. And, you know, Technicals was one of those people. Gokanaru was one of those people. I was one of those people. And, you know, we were all kind of trying to give him advice on what he should do. You know, nothing, I don't think he took any of the advice I gave him. But he also wanted me to make a video debunking the allegations really badly. And I didn't do that. I put it off and I put it off, and I was waiting for more developments to happen. And then before I knew it, he was dead. You know, I don't know if that, I don't know if me making a video would have changed anything. I don't think I could have saved him. At the end of the day, I still don't know if the allegations are real. We're going to try to figure it out today. But, you know, ultimately, I feel like there's probably nothing I could have done to help him because he was addicted to ketamine. You know, you farm him for content. That's true. I do that. That's very true. But in fairness, I mean, he was literally coming on my live stream. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. He was adding me to group chats in the final days. He had me to some group chat with like Pyrocynical and Nerd City and Colossal's Crazy and like Gokanaru. Are you upset about it? I'm upset about the fact he's dead. Yeah, that's pretty upsetting, I would say. It's upsetting that he's dead. Yeah. We have a crazy document today from Jameskii, okay? And I actually messaged Jameskii about this. I had tweeted at him asking for an interview or something. And he said it would be coming out soon. This was like a few days ago. And then he put out this document. So we're going to take a look at this. Do you think he had a bias towards him? I mean, the evidence was quite damning. No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I did like his content, but, you know, I certainly didn't. In fairness, I did try to do him, you know, I didn't try to do him very dirty on that live stream he came on, and no matter what, he just kept talking in circles about he wasn't really helping his case, was he? Is what I'm saying, really. You know, we gave him multiple outs basically to be like, so this is what happened. He'd be like, no, this is what happened, which is like the worst possible version of events. So it was pretty crazy. TBH Podcast mentions the group chat. Yeah, that is the one that I was added to for a bit, and then I think I got kicked, but I'm not really sure why. But yeah, Twomad was trying to get all of us to make a video, and just like nobody did it because he was just hard to listen to. And no matter what, you know, I don't think he's not the easiest person to defend, you know what I mean? But this is a 52-page document about what happened. So I want to figure out what actually happened, you know? I want to figure out what went on with Twomad. I have a little bit of a personal investment in this because I talked to this guy. No one ever would have assumed he would do this. I mean, to be honest, looking back, it's not that shocking, you know? Like, if you watch, like, the pattern of events that happened, like, sequentially, it's not the most shocking thing in the world. The thing that we all wanted him to do more than anything was just, like, compile all of his evidence into, like, a Google Doc and then, like, make a video actually trying to debunk it, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have all of his shit. We didn't have those details. It wasn't organized. We didn't know what went on. So if he really thought he could have debunked it, what we wanted him to do is just make a video or something, but he just didn't do it. He just didn't do it. Why? I don't know. Maybe he's just too crazy. I think he literally had schizophrenia. It's disturbing to see his name on the articles about his death. It is disturbing. Another thing that's disturbing is Twomad, I don't know if you guys know this, but he's talked about in interviews and stuff. He was like a very lonely person in high school, completely alone, like basically nonverbal, had no friends. And then he blew up on the internet and made all these friends, right? After just like being like a literal neat shut-in. Due to his mental illness, due to whatever he did to this girl, due to him constantly schizo posting, due to his drug addiction, he ended up in the same place, playing Overwatch in his bedroom alone. Alone. That's crazy. This This document delves into a critical analysis of Twomad's crimes, both online and in person, that have profoundly impacted Twomad's victims' lives. I urge the readers to approach the content with care and empathy. Please respect the privacy of the victims and leave them alone. Thank you. Content warning: mentions and evidence of SA, drug abuse, and violence are included throughout text, which may be disturbing for some viewers. This is formatted for the desktop version. I think it's sad parents be outliving their kids. That is sad, yeah. I imagine Twomad's parents are not having a fun time right now with this. This is formatted for desktop version. For users on mobile, please switch to print layout for proper viewing. To begin this document, it should be clear that Twomad owned both airsoft and real firearms. The investigation discovered a real Glock and AR-15 among prop weapons. Twomad's fascination with guns and his drive to push legal and moral boundaries to see what he could get away with was public knowledge. Airsoft and real firearms. Included below are private and public references of him using and being in possession of illegal firearms, as well as references of him trying to dispose of his guns. So if you guys remember, on my live stream, Twomad said that he didn't actually own any guns. I remember this specifically. And in the days following, people like Yumi also tweeted out saying that the picture that was used in the lawsuit was actually an airsoft gun. So like, for example, here, this photo is from 2019 from my Instagram and has apparently ended up in a lawsuit to be shown as real guns. Bro, they are unloaded BB guns. Here we can see, this is one of the pictures that was in the lawsuit, I believe. But Jameskii here claims that there are real guns. That's scary, man. Like, I've done it once, I can do it again. Yeah, but like, why? Lamau, what I did was like some demon, like, relax. Look, I bought an AR-15 and a Glock during that period, selling it now. I bought it because I was like, let me shoot holes into the walls. Like, what are you doing? I don't even know what this means. Shoot holes into walls. Team has public references to being in possession of someone else's firearms. So that's this, I guess. This is from my stream.
Did you ever at any point like actually show her a real firearm or not?
No.
Did you have them?
Perhaps.
He was on Demon Time.
Were they yours or like someone else's?
There's somebody else's.
Okay.
So I guess I was wrong. I see he said he did have real guns on my stream.
All right. When you say there was someone else's, like, were you using them? Like, did you take them to the range or anything?
No.
Okay. Where were you keeping them?
I was keeping it in the hurt locker.
What the?
That's what she thought.
Okay.
Nick DiOrio sent me something he wanted me to open. Just read Jameskii's document, and wow, I honestly don't think Twomad will survive this controversy. Like, bro, what he said on page 92 is actually unacceptable. Someone really put a stop to this man's antics. Twomad needs to inject himself with reality. Okay, so this is just... There are 52 pages, so I think Nick just didn't read it. Real talk, though, no way I'm reading a single word of the 52-page Jameskii manifesto on Twomad. Spelled manifesto wrong. I hope this brings Jameskii whatever closure he's pretending he's giving victims by actually giving himself, and move on. As for Twomad, damn bro, that sucks, or damn bro, you suck, depending on what he did.
Let me tell you. We don't care.
Dude, Nick's a dick. Twomad's public reference to him putting a loaded gun to his head. Okay.
Like, I had a friend say that. He was like, yeah, that's rock bottom. It's like, that's not rock bottom. Out here.
Yeah, rock bottom is subjective. And everyone's got a different one.
Rock bottom. I don't even know what that is. Like,
It's whatever the lowest you feel like you could ever go before being like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm done. Yeah. Whatever drives you to your breaking point.
that sounds like mania.
Kinda. It can rock bottom can drive people insane. Manic. Make people lose it. Understandably.
Yeah, no, but you're right. The reason why we thought I was hitting rock bottom is because I had a loaded gun pointed at my head as a joke. It's like, obviously I'm not going to pull the trigger, but because she's a woman, and women women just can't calibrate normally. She can't realize that like we do this with the boys all the time, even though it frightens you.
Okay, it is absolute insanity to put a loaded gun to your head. Whether you intend to pull the trigger or not, that is so dangerous. Because like literally, like one slight movement, someone bumping you or something, you could blow your brains out. This is too mad. Yeah, that is too mad.
I've literally done this before. Like, it's funny. Obviously, if I had like a happy girlfriend or marriage, I wouldn't feel the need to put a gun to my head for fun or whatever. But I don't have that. So.
Okay. So I guess here, I mean, he doesn't seem to be joking there. The problem with Twomad is he's an unreliable narrator. You can never know like what is true and what isn't, and what is some meme deep eye or anything. But he sounds pretty sincere there. It doesn't sound like a joke. It doesn't sound like a joke at all, honestly. Also getting oiled up right now. I know I'm oiled up, dude. I got oiled up before the stream. I'm ready. The Superior Justice Court ordered Twomad to turn in all firearms legally. If Twomad had surrendered his firearms, he'd need to file a document stating that and notify all parties. This would incriminate him since he had them illegally in the first place and none were registered to his name. The investigation found that he never surrendered his weapons and held on to them. This refusal to surrender was brought up in court, but LAPD refused to take the guns despite the court's order. The judge also instructed the authorities to search Twomad's properties, but the LAPD chose not to and implied that we should complain to the court. You must sell or store with a licensed gun dealer or turn into a law enforcement agency any firearms and firearm parts in your immediate possession or control. Thanks for the $1. This must be done within 24 hours of being served with this order. File a receipt with the court within 48 hours of receiving this order that proves your firearms, guns, and firearm parts have been turned in, sold, or stored. You may use receipt for firearms and firearm parts. Form CH-800 for the receipt. I wish we had the full document here about this. I really wish, because we don't. Hello, Gokanaru.
Hola, what's up?
Going through the document. I'm on page 3 almost.
Okay.
But really page 3 is page 2 and page 1 is your mom, so there's just a lot of Are you live?
Yeah, I'm live.
So yeah, I'm going through it right now. I mean, it's definitely a slow moving thing. The first thing he establishes is that he thought Twomad had guns.
Right.
Which for his evidence for that, it's one clip from our stream where he says that he has guns that aren't under his name in his house, and then there's another clip he references where Twomad talks about how towards the end of his life he was putting loaded guns to his head for fun.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. So sorry. I saw he tweeted as well, like Twomad playing with a gun and then like a bullet falls out. Was that just a BB or what was that?
I think the one in the kitchen was a real gun because it looks like it looked
pretty real.
Yeah. He did have airsoft guns though for sure.
But weirdly, like that was when he was in Vancouver. It looks like, at least to me. I guess in Vancouver. Yeah, I guess
I honestly can't tell.
Bro, my ears. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This looks like a real Glock.
Yeah, and then he's. I'm pretty sure he's showing a screenshot from our interview. Yeah, where he basically pulls out the gun to Goldie Bell. Okay.
I'm gonna screen share if you want.
Yeah, that's actually better. Yeah.
We can go through this together as a team.
Sounds good.
How are you feeling about this, considering we're kind of cosmically tied to this story?
I feel awful. This whole situation sucks, bro. This is awful.
Yeah.
It's like the worst story ever. Sorry. It's not like a matter of my conscience is necessarily aching. It's more like, I mean, I don't know exactly how much time you've spent actually looking into this and figuring out. But I spent like a good month like digging through our interview, and bro, I was getting like nightmares about this case. Like it was really depressing. You know what I mean? Because it's like you have a guy that's basically quite literally losing his mind and is just clearly like, again, we discovered that basically during that interview. Like that was the first time I ever learned basically that the guy was like obviously abusing ketamine, like 30K in ketamine. Over the course of like a year and a half.
$30,000 in ketamine. That is a lot. Is ketamine expensive? I don't really know.
Not that expensive. No, I actually asked some friends, and they were like, I was like, so theoretically, how much ketamine would you get for 30K or whatever? And they were like, bruh, what are you talking about? They were like, there's just no shot.
The thing is, like, me and like 10 other YouTubers like were messaging him, being like, just like make a video and like debunk it, and like he just wouldn't do it. Like there was nothing you could tell him. He would also never take advice. Like we would just tell him like stop doing drugs. But like to someone who's a drug addict, like they're not just gonna take that and be like, let's do it, you know?
Like the guy was pretty much set in motion. I believe his dad ended up going to LA to try and I guess just see what was going on, right? Because obviously his son was having a bit of a situation, and like if his dad ends up leaving LA and felt like he couldn't do anything, I don't know what the hell random YouTubers would do.
Yeah,
but
it's
by the way, yeah, it's tragic as hell, man. Like but it's especially sad because it was a case. I don't know if you've even said this, Tom, but like it was a case where it was super weird because he would be messaging YouTubers like they were like his friend or whatever, you know what I mean? Like as if they were like a familiar relationship, right? When in reality it was just pretty well like a stranger. But like toward the end, the guy just alienated everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the last messages he sent me was literally just him saying, hey, and I was like, what? And he was like, explain this. And then he sent me the Jimmy John's menu, which is a sandwich shop we have here in the US, which is the item called the Turkey Tom.
Oh my god, that's actually hilarious, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's weirdly wholesome.
The last message he sent me, which is kind of crazy, was he said on the 9th of February, which is like I think a few days before he died, he said, am I a genius? And I said yes. He said, why in layman terms? And I said, you're really funny and you made good videos. And that was it. That was the last time we talked. Crazy.
That's also pretty wholesome, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy ending. Yeah. So here, Jameskii opens the document by talking about the firearms. He says that they're real. He has these 2 clips of Twomad saying he has guns. And then he said that the Superior Justice Court ordered Twomad to turn in all firearms legally. And this is the part of the restraining order, basically, when they say you can't own any firearms. We have information that you have firearms. That's basically what this part of the document says. So we have a quote here. Due to California's governing system, the LAPD can get away with a lot of misconduct. Here's an example of an LAPD officer refusing to act on Twomad, violating the court's order in real time and implying to let him do it as much as he wants. They also refuse to enforce the order to take his real guns. Here's a video, I guess. Instructions for law enforcement. Arrest required if order is violated. If an officer has probable cause to believe that the restrained person had notice of the order and has disobeyed the order, the officer must arrest the restrained person. A violation of the order may be violation of Penal Code Section 166 or 273.6. Agencies are encouraged to enter violation messages into Carpos. This is a court order. LAPD refusing to take a report, implying it's pointless.
Say like, oh, you need a police report. No, you do not. You can actually go and present your evidence and show that he's violating the restraining order, and then the judge will deal with that accordingly. Nothing's going to happen until your day at the courthouse, so he can violate it every day up until then, and nothing's going to be done. We're not going to go over there and break his door down and take his guns. It's going to be addressed in court.
So that's what the LAPD said. So I guess he's saying they're there's a lot of misconduct because they're refusing to go and take his guns.
Right. So he's trying to basically show like the fact that he felt powerless or something like that, or like he was trying everything he could to. Yeah, I guess. Why is he showing that first?
I'm not really sure. Because I think the thing most people are curious about is the pedophilia allegation.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I personally am curious about that because I don't know anything about it. Right.
I looked into this pretty deep, and like if we're talking about actual evidence, I didn't see anything.
Can you give a quick TLDR? Actually, no, I cannot.
That would be. Yeah.
I'll further acknowledge the situation with the LAPD not enforcing the law later in this document. One of the biggest concerns was that Twomad would take lethal doses of his drugs and go out of his way to specific locations in person as he wouldn't be thinking straight. Example, TwitchCon incident, Category C felony that followed it after, and here we have my favorite screenshot with this thing, which says name, Budea Sadiq, alias Twomad, and then that.
Yeah.
This isn't a court document.
That's a matter of record.
Matter of public record that his name was N-word Pokemon 333.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twomad had been reckless with drugs that would make him aggressive and fearless while making him unable to remember anything that happened while he was in a psychotic state. He went as far as to take large amounts of Xanax on multiple occasions and had gone to a hospital after talking about how he's very likely to pull a McSkillet while high. Now that's this video.
McSkillet referring to the dude who ended up shooting up a CS:GO event. Is that what he did? Something like that, right?
What McSkillet did is he was a wealthy owner of a gambling site, I believe.
Okay.
During the CS:GO days, and I think when it got shut down or something to that effect, or his account got banned, he drove his McLaren on the opposite side of the highway and incinerated 2 people in a minivan.
Okay, yeah. I knew he did something awful. That's crazy, though. Wow. All right, I understood. So he's basically saying like he thought that Twomad was gonna kill people. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the clip of that.
That I'm still like madly infatuated.
Why?
Because it's like I touched her that one time and then she sued me. And that's why I must get my ultimate revenge.
Holy
Jesus, he sounds
ultimate
crazy.
revenge.
Yeah, a lot of people like to scare themselves into thinking I'm like a harmless person. I could be, right? But and it's worthwhile do your due diligence to make sure that doesn't happen. But I think what's more, if I go into schizo mode for real, what's more likely is I'm going to do a McSkillet or like getting a bunch of crimes before I go and commit murder.
Okay.
I try to avoid that.
This guy is just like, maybe don't. This guy's like, maybe don't do that.
I definitely try to avoid that. 100%.
That's good.
In fairness, it seems like he's not expressing his explicit intent to murder, but he's saying because he's so high all the time and depressed, he doesn't trust his own judgment and is like very likely that he could do that. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah, I think that's accurate, but that's some sinister sounding shit, man. Like he's clearly on something in this.
The fact that he said ultimate revenge and then said I might pull a McSkillet is crazy.
It's not just crazy. It's I could understand why Jameskii was tweaking out if he's seeing this. Yeah, bro. I mean, this is some shit you would hear in like a movie, like the Joker cackling in prison or something. This is awful.
Yeah.
That I'm still like madly infatuated with this.
Why?
Jesus,
because it's like I touched her that one time and then she sued me. And that's
pause for a
why
second.
I must.
He sounds so crazy.
Yeah, to be clear, like there's a way you could interpret this. When he says I touched her that one time, that could be kind of interpreted as like he touched her more than once, like right, like through the course of them interacting and.
But him saying one time could be the time
could be a reference. Yes, yeah.
You know,
the time that basically was the time that she was leaving the door, right?
And his dick was out over his waistband, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah, and the big claim is that she was running to basically leave his home, and then he ran up behind her and grabbed her, whatever. And we should, by the way, at some point, we should definitely kind of rewatch what he says about that, because it is kind of.
I think it will probably be in here if I had to guess.
Oh yeah, you're probably right, but yeah, no, it definitely doesn't make him look very innocent, but we'll see. Yeah.
Let's get my ultimate revenge.
Jesus.
Ultimate revenge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people like to scare themselves into thinking I'm like a harmless person. I could be, right? But and it's worthwhile do your due diligence to make sure that doesn't happen. But I think what's more, if I go into schizo mode for real, what's more likely is I'm going to do a McSkillet or like getting a bunch of crimes before I go and commit murder.
I try to avoid that.
Yeah, that's cankle.
I definitely try to avoid that. 100%.
That's good. That's good.
It's not the first time that like.
Dude. I don't know how. The most charitable interpretation of this is not that good.
No, yeah, no, bro. This is really bad. Yeah, to be honest, I hadn't heard this until right now. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I would want to know when exactly this was streamed. Does the document say that?
Great question. When was this? No, but I bet I could just look up. If I look up Twomad Canklemore, I bet I could find it. I'm pretty sure this was like shortly before his death.
I mean, that makes sense, man. The guy sounds gone, but
I think it's this 2 months ago. This is December 24th, 2023. Is it the same outfit and everything? Yes, same outfit. So it must be this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would assume.
So you said when? Wait, September?
No. December 24th.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So 2 months ago.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, you and I kind of also obviously were aware, but like by that time, like he was getting worse and worse. So this is like, this is bad, man. But like at the same time, this was after the TwitchCon incident, right? The TwitchCon thing was in October. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that would have been, yeah.
Okay, I see. So at this point,
this was after our stream with him.
No, 100%. Yeah. Our stream with him was it was like end of August, man.
Yeah. No, I will say, as far as the police thing, I don't think there was any misconduct. I think they literally just were saying like, go to court and then we'll do something. Like we need a warrant or something. Yeah. We can't just take his guns.
Well, the big thing, I think that in my mind, it's like, like for the cops to go over and to seize his guns, right? And like Jameskie's claiming that this guy's like mentally unhinged, etc. That's kind of that'd be a lot to put on cops, right? To like go and try and seize these guns for, again, it's like a civil case as well, right? It's not even a criminal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I will say he did a decent job already of painting him as unhinged. That clip is horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, like let's just be clear, like you and I are probably somewhat irony poisoned or like a little bit more jaded because we see so much online, like just through all these dramas, like you know what I mean?
I don't see how I could read it as like humorous.
No, not at all. Not at all. But what I was basically gonna say is like we might be a little bit like have like a higher tolerance for things being said like that.
I would say we probably do, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like if you were to just any normal person, right, and we're just gonna assume that Jameskie's a normal guy because we don't know him, that I could absolutely see why they would be like concerned. You know what I mean? Like
these clips are really bad. Like they are funny, but I would probably be scared of someone like this too. Twomad had openly and privately talked about his deep hatred towards me and other witnesses involved in his civil and criminal cases. On Christmas Eve, he openly addressed how there are people he wants to kill but are so far away. That day, he was told that he might end up becoming fearless and reckless enough to kill someone in psychosis. Twomad took even more Xanax despite the warning. He was administered to a hospital and was discharged the same week. Here we have a video from
Okay, other than the fentanyl thing, what should I worry about?
Getting addicted, because it's pretty easy to get addicted to quickly. Doing something really crazy that you would have never done otherwise. Probably hurting someone because you're fearless enough to go do that.
What the?
How does this stream only have like 900 views? This is a crazy stream.
No, Canklemore is on
the.
He's on the ground floor, man. Like the big thing with the Twomad case is that like even you and I, bro, like we didn't advertise it. You know what I mean? Like we really kept it kind of low key because, I mean, I think I can say for myself, but probably similar for you. Like, bro, we both knew that this was way more serious than a YouTube drama. You know what I mean?
It felt more serious once he was in the call. I'll say that.
Yeah, 100%.
And the thing that was particularly serious about it is when we gave him multiple sort of outs to like explain himself, and he went deeper and was. I'd say he was abundantly honest in our stream. Not to his own benefit either.
No, I would agree. Yeah. Anyway,
you have like any like deep like you hate somebody feelings, and you might kill them on Xanax. Like it's
but they're so far away. It's like impossible. Like how would I get there?
Wait, is he literally saying he wants to kill people? Hold on, let's just play that again.
You might kill them on Xanax. Like it's.
Yeah, but they're so far away. It's like impossible. Like, how would I get there? But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I should be okay then, actually.
He's popping a bunch of Xans right now.
Yeah. Is it a half a one?
I'll show you a photo.
Photo?
Yeah.
All right.
Holy.
So, do you have any idea when he started doing Xanax? Because that's not something that came up in our interview. Our interview, the focus was mainly on ketamine. And then there's also, I don't know if you've seen the interview, but there's a guy who was actually online friends with Twomad. I just saw this on Twitter, but he was online friends with Twomad. He also had like a conversation with Twomad when he was a little bit more sober. And Twomad was talking about the fact of like, he could just take ketamine and it'll never kill him. You know what I mean? Like, and it was almost like he was complaining, where it's like, man, I have money and I have access to this drug that makes everything feel better, and it will never me. You know what I mean?
The thing I'm curious about is, did we ever get a coroner's report? Like, did they open him up and see what happened?
I haven't seen that. Like, at some point, I don't know when. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, when did he start taking the Xanax? Right? I don't know. Like, there's there's people I was talking to that were claiming that like he was doing DMT, and like he basically was like complete delusions of grandeur, thinking that he was, he unlocked the secret to the universe, which obviously when you're, literally in a state of constant psychosis, being high, like obviously, you're going to have delusions.
If I was like that for a day, I think even if I stopped doing it after that, I think I would be psychotic. Like, I think I would lose my mind.
The guy was clearly deteriorated.
Yeah.
I think toward the end of our interview, he wasn't sober, but whatever. The point is, though, is like this, the fact that his memory was so shot, right? Like, you were saying that he was very honest, and I agree with you that he was like honest with what he thought, right? Like he was honest with like his feelings or whatever. But from what the big like insight that I gleaned from the amount that I basically reviewed that interview that we did was that this guy, the vast majority of his memories of these events with the girl, right? He barely remembers the actual events, and he's remembering them through the videos and the texts that he ends up sending us, right? So his basically, like, when it comes to, the conversation, right, that he sent us with her, right, where he's even in that conversation, like, basically overriding her consent, right? Like, he's touching her feet, he's making advances. When he describes that event, like when he describes that earlier in the interview before he shows us the video, he pretty much just describes what's in the video. But he himself, I don't think he remembers really much of what happened after the fact, right?
I will say, I think having sex on ketamine, I can't imagine a worse idea. Maybe the only worse idea is doing heroin. Like,
oh my God.
It wouldn't, I don't even know what would happen. Like, I don't even want to think about it. Like, it just sounds, I don't know. Being around a girl that you like on ketamine sounds crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's reckless too. It's just stupid. It's but obviously, in hindsight, I mean, that's kind of obvious. But yeah, I mean, he told us that he hated it, right? Like, so that's kind of unsurprising. But yeah.
Man. Twomad had repeatedly talked about not being able to recollect the actions and crimes he's committed, like we just said. Often changing his stories and theories. He claimed he was unable to recall if he took drugs on days when incidents occurred, because he would frequently black out, yet he could remember whenever his drugs were missing. And here we have September 2023, Go Kanaru and Turkey Tom. Unable to remember psychosis and blacked out. Here we go.
Were there ever times when you would take ketamine and you just pass out and you don't even like remember? You get like a ketamine blackout?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Do you think that could like affect like how they would see
your recollection
case, as far as like your recollection and like, are you a reliable narrator? Like, she's mentally ill maybe, but you're doing ketamine all the time and having blackouts?
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't blacken out that day. I blacked out in like the past. What ketamine did that day, if I was on ketamine, which is very possible.
If you were.
You should definitely try to know.
It was like a woozy
if
thing.
that was the case.
Again?
You should try to know for sure if that was the case. if you would have
Okay,
like
yeah.
some kind of like altering substance.
Well, I mean, I
on
just
that.
side with like, yes, I was for the most part.
Okay. All right.
All right, so we've got another clip. Twomad unable to remember if he was high on ketamine.
When you basically like pointed the BB at her, was that like you were on ketamine type of thing?
Yeah, I may have been on ketamine that day. I think I was, but yeah.
Okay, here we have Twomad being unable to remember how much he took.
Okay, here's the question is like, you know how if you keep taking diazepine, they you build a tolerance, right? And they don't work as well as they used to.
Talking about taking benzos, like I guess Xanax would be one.
Yeah, that's the fastest building tolerance I've ever dealt with.
Yeah, that's a problem for me because I wanted to try it like twice, but the first time I tried it, I took a pretty normal dose, and then when I came back, the entire bag of Xanax was gone.
Whoa. Whoa.
So I'm like, I looked everywhere for it. It's just like, he took it all. I feel fine. Not really, but I'm like, okay.
Takeamore takes off his glasses for this one. He's like
You
crying.
took all of it?
Or maybe I think he's just got something in his eye. I just wanted to be crying.
It was like 20 bars.
When?
Yesterday.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
20 bars of Xanax?
Xanax never really worked on me the same way it does for others. I feel like.
This dude was on some. This dude was Big Xan.
Like 1 bar is
It was Lil Xan. This is Big Xan.
1 bar is too much for him.
Oh, people are saying,
like right now.
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea if you can survive 20. That's insane. I don't know. But the thing is, he's claiming that he wasn't like destroyed. I don't know how you could take 20 and not be destroyed. But anyway,
In early December of 2023, Twomad reached out to the victim's mutual acquaintances, offering large sums of money in exchange for her work address. As a result, the victim had to quit out of fear for her and her coworkers' safety. Okay.
You should do that.
We need to figure out where it works is the answer to the question.
So is this it may not be Goldie Bell?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Because he says one of the victims, but I feel like you need to be specific for us to understand. Thanks for the 5 gifted memberships, GJ. I feel like we need the specifics. Like, is this not? It's not Isabella. It's someone else. Maybe.
Right. If it's not, yeah. If it's not,
what happened there?
Yeah.
The constant threats and harassment. Twomad. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, that does sound like Twomad is looking for the address of a girl, right? Like, what reason would he have to do that?
I wish we had this full call, I will say, but yeah.
I'm trying to understand where it even comes from. Damn.
The constant threats and harassment Twomad brought resulted in the victim having to go on academic leave after he threatened to show up while posting where she was going to school. School professors have been aware of Twomad's previous aggravated stalking in 2022 towards a sexual assault victim, so this must be in reference to someone else then, which caused the victim to fail classes due to the stress. So this must be about Isabella, Goldie Bell, or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
There were emails from 22 sent by the victim to her teachers explaining why she was failing behind in class, setting the reasons because of the stress of being stalked and assaulted. Hi, I'm attaching a copy of that ebook I was mentioning, The Smart Girl's Guide to Online Privacy, which I've definitely picked up a few tricks from. I don't know how far you are along your journey, but if you ever feel like talking, all students are welcome. The more evidence, times, and days you can gather will be the better. Wishing you many safe spaces. Hi, Professor. I'm behind on work. Want to give a brief explanation as to why. In short, I've been dealing with a lot mentally. Apologies if this is too much information, but last month I was SA'd and I've been dealing with a stalker, so I'm a bit behind on my studies. I'll get the essay in along with the basket ASAP and prepare for the debate next week. Sorry for troubles. Sorry to hear that. Feel free to take some extra time. Hi, Mr. Blank. I apologize again. I was on track for class, but a serious issue regarding the previous situation came up, and I'm scheduling an urgent meeting with the school therapist and security ASAP. The stress of missing class is concerning me, but I don't know how clear the absence is. Is it possible to make up points for missing the debate? Also, thank you for your previous email. I hope this all blows over soon. I can get back to how I usually am. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
In private, Twomad's friends told him on various... Sorry?
No, I was just gonna say this is kind of consistent because obviously we haven't seen this, right? Like obviously, Goldie Bell probably gave this to Jameskii, or it's in the court documents. But
I don't think this was in the court documents, from what I remember.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, my guess would be that Jameskii, you know, he kind of worked on this with Goldie Bell. It would make sense. But yeah, so this does kind of go in line though with. The big thing to me, the biggest thing, honestly, that really made me think this girl was not lying, right? Because this is the big thing, obviously. Like, Twomad thinks, or at least he probably thought she believed it. But I know, like, online, like, a lot of people think that, like, whatever, people are lying initially, right? Like, it's the big thing that I realized was it wasn't a thing where, like, oh, it broke off awkwardly, and then a year, multiple months later, she was saying, like, oh, it was retroactively, like, she decided she was, you know, assaulted. It was, Twomad admitted in our interview, he said, like, while they were seeing each other, she was telling him, like, you remember you assaulted me, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, if she's sending these messages to school, right, obviously she genuinely seemed to believe that she was assaulted.
And,
so, yeah.
I mean, being stalked, I guess. In private, Twomad's friends told him on various occasions they were not going to give him the victim's work address, and when Twomad briefly stopped pestering them about it, this conversation happened. This quote.
So you've dropped you've dropped the harassment idea.
Oh, I'm gonna this. Are you stupid?
Come on, man. Just let it go.
What do you mean? Come on. I understand that you're in the end game of life when you've just begun, and you don't have any anger towards anyone ever. But like, you have to understand, I'm not married like you.
Damn, I wish I knew where the hell these were coming from.
I want this full call. I need the full call.
Yeah.
Now deleted tweets from approximately 3 hours time frame within the clip above. Here we have this one. Well, this is deleted. I'm gonna check the archive meme.
Who was it? Right, who is it supposed to be? Sorry. Oh,
so
it was
supposed to be Twomad saying, "I'm a K-her fam. I'm a K-her fam."
Right, right.
There is a screenshot. I'm gonna just see if I can get an archive of this on the Wayback Machine real quick, because that'll be good. I will say, if someone wants to say this is fake, this is it's not archived. This would be a lot to fake. I'm gonna check the other one. The first one, no archive. Second one, also no archive. So if we're to believe this happened, all we have is this. But we can see there was a tweet. We can see there was a tweet.
Fuck. I see. This was what, 10 days? What was it? 8 days before he died?
February 5th. We found out he died on, I think, the 12th, but I think he actually died on like the 10th or 9th or something.
Yeah, so this is like the death throes of a literally dying person, probably. Like,
yeah.
But like, obviously, yeah, I could get again, like, if you don't know what this guy's doing, and he's saying shit like that, it's definitely not good.
Twomad had found the home addresses of several victims, as well as the family addresses of one. He'd make threats about it and would send packages to the family house mentioned above. He doxed one of his victims on numerous occasions on Twitter. In addition, he wouldn't stop posting her full name, photos, work store name, and school location. In order to protect the identities of victims, I'll only share public tweets referencing him wanting to put the information on YouTube. I assume this is in reference to Goldie Bell or whatever.
Probably. Right. I hadn't seen him doxing her properly, like address, but obviously I saw him like reposting the images of her face, like private photos that he took of her. Even on his live stream, have you ever seen his you've seen his live stream setup that he was running, right?
Yeah, with the jail cell.
Yeah. I was tuning in. I was like I told you, there's a good month where I was keeping tabs, and like in a way, it's like what would you say? It's like so insane that it's like kind of comedically hilarious, but he was absolutely like not like always, even while he was playing Overwatch in those streams, he would just be mumbling about this case, bro. Like this was completely all consuming.
Yeah. Here you have him saying, "Will dox too? Can I get banned on YouTube for posting full name? I'm gonna get reposted like cray." Lawsuit went nowhere. I got doxxed and outed as weird. I have to go to work now and live with this. I don't know if it was worth it overall because he still has a career somehow. I guess she's talking. He's referencing like from her perspective, I guess, is what this tweet is. I got doxxed and outed as weird. I have to go to work and live with this. I don't know if it was worth it overall because he still has a career somehow, referencing his career. So this is like what his view of her perspective is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twomad stalking wasn't limited to in-person stalking. Twomad made countless accounts to stalk his victims online. The court explicitly ordered Twomad not to make alternative accounts to stalk his victims, which he immediately violated. Here's a tweet referencing him being caught. Lawyers are really good at research. I still ain't settling. You get like 20 views. Your stories. That's how you found my alt. Ha ha ha. No. Here's him talking about the victim's IG story. He was actively stalking every single post from her by using new alt accounts after being blocked many times over. December 9th, added to highlights. I feel like my Starbucks job need more an undertone seemingly but probably not forced guy voice coming from a tiny girl oozes I'm mentally ill. My job is I don't give a fuck about it, sucking my soul out of my body and counting the clock down at work makes me want to quit, but it's hard to find a new job. I don't even understand what this is supposed to mean. My job needs something. Oh, so he's referencing her Jackbox game basically from her highlights. That's the link.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
And they're showing he tweeted it on the 10th, which is the day after she posted this to the highlights. Note, Twomad found out the victim was working at Starbucks on his own. Now deleted tweet with photos of the victim he was actively stalking. This is deleted. Quote, Twomad owns that mouth. The blah, 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 blah thing she said when I took her virginity was crazy and swallowed. Look at that gigantic scribble in her description. So calculated and cringe. Dressing up in Halloween costume for Halloween. Self-reporting. You don't like your moron friends. Is this one archived? I want to see.
I probably have that one. Just one sec. Let me just take a look.
I mean, it definitely doesn't. It doesn't sound like something he wouldn't say. I'll say that.
Should I send it to you, by the way? Because her face is in it. You let me know.
Do you want to just crop her face out real quick, maybe in snipping tool?
Yeah. Let me censor it. Wait up.
I'm gonna see if I can find this on Wayback. Just to see if there's an archive. I mean, her face is already out there. I mean, I feel like it's.
I know. Yeah.
Should we archive that in Discord? Let me check. Okay, I actually found it. Let me zoom in so we don't show her face, I guess. But I did find it. One of the Turkey team members sent it. Thank you very much, Saku. Here you have him saying, Twomad owns that mouth. The bull 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 thing she did when I took her virginity was crazy and swallowed. Look at that gigantic scribble in her description, so calculated and cringe. Dressing up in Halloween costumes for Halloween, self-reporting. You don't like your moron friends who ill-advise you shamelessly. I wish you'd get out of my life forever. You lost out and I'd never give a girl like you a chance again. You work as a tortured waitress when you wish you could sit at home like me. I'm the victim and everyone will know it while I tweet out candy.doll paragraphs regularly until you private it like your other account for good. So this is the tweet. Yeah. Well, this is definitely it. It's a real tweet. All right.
Yeah.
Prior and during the active civil cases, Twomad went out of his way to stalk witnesses and his victims in person again. During TwitchCon Las Vegas, Twomad made ominous threats towards me and the public. To my knowledge, he didn't explicitly make a public statement that he planned to shoot up the convention center. I have no idea where this rumor originates. However, he did make numerous concerning threats, some of which directly referenced me and other people he had a deadly grudge against. The convention center and the public were aware of his threats before I had a chance to speak to any first responders. When the threats began, I was told to urgently talk to people at the central station, where they acknowledged that the sheriff and convention were already aware. According to the investigation, Twomad was actively looking for me specifically, but implied that others would also be affected, using me as the reason. The investigation also determined he was in a state of psychosis during his last live stream before going to Las Vegas, and that he talked to himself, saying things like... Thanks for the copyright claim.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Look at this.
Yeah, the setup is
crazy. If you just keep asking, they'll give it to you. Like, I already apologized. I said I'm doing that shit again. I'm gonna get killed by like some person. Like, they're gonna be like, I hate this guy.
Yeah. Sometimes he would have her face.
No, I didn't. What?
Like
wait, go back for a sec. I think it did have her face in the right there, where that beside his username, but I think they censored it. If you can see, they put like a gray box on it.
Did it? I don't. Where?
Just looking where you're looking right now, to the right, bottom right corner, the gray box. I'm pretty sure that was her face.
Oh.
I already apologized.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
For Chad who can't see right now, let me zoom out for a sec so you guys can see this. This gray box is they're saying Gokadaru is saying that was probably her face.
Yeah, I can confirm. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's her face.
Okay. Twomad talking to himself. You know who?
No, I don't mean to be mean, but like I have a thing against like women.
Base.
Yeah.
Facts, bro. That's true though. Like for real. Nobody asked. Type. Lawyers will say anything. No, I'm going to jail now.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I just sent you, just in case you wanted proof or whatever, I censored her face, but basically it's a photo that he took of her the night, I believe, more or less the night that...
we can see this here. Yeah, you can see the with his play buttons in the background, by the way.
Yeah. So I believe that was the same night, by the way, from the conversation that we received the recording of, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember, I believe he sent us this image. But anyway, the point is, though, is that it's an image that like makes her look bad, like she's like showing her, what would you say, her hairline or whatever.
Yeah, he was saying that she's like ugly, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Public Twitter quotes. I will take you down with me, do everything I can to get back up before you, and I'll do everything I can to shape up so karma never catches me. The ultimate revenge. Also, what's with people who are vulnerable to masses hating them? With the one guy who has a chip on his shoulder to really try to do some damage to you with zero remorse in the most creative way possible. I'm not an easy opponent. Why would you f with someone like me and not expect it to backfire publicly? Jameskii, stop using this girl. You'll regret it. The good news is I won't call myself like Etika. I didn't know what racism is. He's funny, dude. You get one life, and you're going to be looking back mad as hell for all the things you didn't do because you cared about people who don't care about what you think. I've waited lifetimes to find you. This is my final I love you. Note he went oddly quiet after these series of tweets. The threats resembled the troop of the mass shooter's final social media posts. Oh, sorry, I think they meant trope. The threats resemble the trope of the mass shooter's final social media posts. Twomad's deadly obsession with news is only getting worse to the point where he'd sometimes slip and say my name out loud for no reason, even during his live streams. Okay. There was a rapid police response, and I was told that my house was unsafe. As a result, we were forced to avoid the home area in my...
Yeah, does he provide proof of that?
Not that I can tell. This person says, same, my group and I were staying with James. We had to find other lodging. The whole situation has been a disaster. The convention center itself had increased security, and we saw more police officers patrolling the premises. These are public references to this on Twitter. Or there were public references to this on Twitter. I was aware of police being involved over threats made around TwitchCon, but wasn't expecting it to be this bad. Sucks that the victim won't be able to get true justice since Twomad decided to overdose, but at least this can be a time of healing for those involved in the incident.
Who the f said that?
Good question. I have no idea. But if we reverse image search, maybe we could find it.
All right.
He censored their face for some reason, though.
Yeah.
We were told not to bring up the situation to the public, and I was put in touch with counterterrorism via direct line during the incident. I spent hours of my time with the police that evening and night. Just let me know how cops go. Yup, with the police right now. 6:20. I'm still dealing with this, still with police. So this is 40 minutes later. During that night, the authorities deemed it necessary to shelter me at a remote location to ensure my safety. I was allowed to leave the custody at around 6:30 a.m. Prior to that, I was housed by multiple friends and creators who referenced it on Twitter. So this is these guys. Robert Ross tweeted this. Daff9 said the same thing, basically.
No.
And Tectone said, I've also witnessed the attempts on Jameskii's life. Police were involved. He was afraid for his life. I stayed with him for a couple of hours just to make sure he felt safe. Where is the actual... Yeah. My question is, where is the actual threat that was made about Jameskii, specifically at TwitchCon?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to understand even the second that it happened, right? Because I think that what he was referencing was a Twitter post, I think. But I'm just trying to understand, like, what's the specific post, right?
Yeah, I don't really know.
See. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Wait. I have something here. Wait up. This might be useful. One sec.
I do have a police report for this in my Google Drive.
Yeah, you tell me if this helps at all. One sec. Says Twomad. Sorry, just pull it up. I just sent
Twomad tried to begging me to get him an entry badge after asking fans who wanted to meet him, and I just trolled him for about an hour. He said he was only a few hours away, but coming tomorrow. 257, and only if I find a depth. How far are you? 500. A couple hours. I might beat you tomorrow, but don't wait up on me. I might not need you. It's all good. 256. Only if I find a depth. This is the Midas person who said Twomad made a threat at TwitchCon. If you're there, evacuate immediately. There is a police report. That I wanted to take a look at. Let me see. I have a Drive folder somewhere. Let me see here.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Talking to chat.
You're good. Don't worry about it. Hold on. I can't seem to actually find the. Hold on. Let me look. See if I can find the Vegas one. Los Angeles. 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 Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I have this, which I can barely read. Here we have this one. Officer contact, reference harassment, swatting calls, red card given to preference report. Okay. I don't, this is just like, there isn't even really anything to read here. There's no evidence of his threat is the issue for me. This is just the privacy thing. See, there's nothing, I can't find where he actually made the threat is the problem for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is right. I don't know if you saw what I sent you. You did, yeah. My bad, you did. But yeah, it might have just been that he was like messaging people. Like it's possible that he was just messaging people that he wants to go, and just the fact that he was messaging people or whatever spooked Jameskii potentially. But obviously, I have no idea. But yeah, I'm trying to understand where the hell was the point where Jameskii was like, "My life is in danger," right?
It's worth noting that during Twomad's psychosis, he messaged nearly every person he had contact with to inquire about people's location. Since he was banned on Twitch, he offered to pay large sums of cash to swap badges to enter the premises. You'll meet me at TwitchCon. Also, do you know anyone else there? Like, literally anyone there at all who doesn't matter who. Also, separate question, can you help me find someone with a Twitch entry badge I can borrow to get in? I mean, the thing is, if you want to view this more charitably, you could say he was just trying to get into troll like Jadeon did Tommy in it, right? Like, I just don't know if I just don't know if there's like a threat being made here. You know what I mean?
No, well, like the framing of this is like he's going to shoot it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I need like a DM where he says I'm going to do that, right? Like,
right.
Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be on us to like show the proof of that. Like Jameskii should be, showing us that anyway. But maybe he does. I guess let's keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Only on page 13. I had to wait a while to be updated on whether it was safe to return home, and I spent most of my time at a friend group's Airbnb the next day. The investigation found that Twomad did not use his primary legally registered Tesla with a real license plate to enter Nevada. The investigation was aware he had two nearly identical Teslas, one of which was bought via private sale and wasn't registered to his name, making it more challenging to track down Twomad. However, I've been told that after Twomad realized the level of police response to his actions, he decided to drive back home and make ominous paranoid spells with various threats at the end. So he has two Teslas, one of which is unmarked.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
he has two identical Tesla, I guess, Model 3s, one of which is unmarked, and he bought it at a private sale and wasn't registered to his name.
Yeah, that sounds almost like he's like, how is this? Is there any reason? Like, is there any proof of that? Like, is this just what the cops told him or whatever? Or?
I really don't know. I mean, is there any proof he owned two Teslas is the biggest question, because that would be he's unregistered firearms and an unregistered vehicle. I mean, is he a hitman? Like, what is he doing?
I mean, that's exactly what I was about to say, making him sound like Walter White, but like in reality, like Twomad was like
Twomad is kid named Finger.
Yeah, but in reality though, Twomad was like a kind of, I mean, I don't know what you would describe it as, but like it seemed like he was stressing about his finances or whatever. Like these would have been vehicles, I guess, that he had purchased well before this, right?
Well, in fairness, okay, so I think he told us he had $200,000, right?
Right. Yeah.
We know how much money you make on YouTube.
Yeah.
How did he only have $200,000?
No, like he blew it. Yeah, that's fair.
I have more than $200,000, and I'm way less famous than Twomad, right? Like, so.
Right, and to be fair, if he also had firearms, right, and it's possible it's possible he had firearms, and it's like his friend sold it to him. You know what I mean?
How would the cops even know if he had an unregistered vehicle? Wouldn't they try to take that away? Isn't that a crime? Like.
That's a great question. That's a great question, man.
Like, I think you can get your license taken away if you're driving in an unregistered vehicle. Like, I've gotten pulled over before because my sticker was out of date on my license plate. I had the registration, I just didn't have the sticker. So, like, I don't know. Here he says, prove you give a single one about life. Let it go. You're in control. You're aware this is urgent. You have a responsibility. Get out of my life forever. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. Jameskii, you have a hand in this too, possibly more than she does. Restraining orders can kill. This is from October 2023.
Yeah, that's like, obviously though, that's like him kind of being paranoid for his own life, right? It's not, When he says you'll regret it for the rest of your life, like, do you interpret that as him making a threat?
I don't really know. I mean, maybe.
No.
Maybe not. Today was wild. Probably the most crazy day of my life, hands down. Holy shit, I'm going to take your breath away. Twoomad's public tweet regarding badge swap. Just, do you reckon they'd have someone stand at the TwitchCon door and try to swipe my friend's badge off me? If they caught me, I wouldn't let them take it and just leave with the badge, and I'd just try again at most sporadic times. They'll probably lawyer up. Even if I have 5% chance of winning, might get a judge who agrees with me. So I guess we know he's trying to get in at the very least. I mean, he did say in his bio thing, he does have at Vegas TwitchCon.
Right, yeah.
While a separate restraining order technically protected me against Twomad, as I was a witness in that case, the authorities told me to obtain a separate personal one from my state ASAP. Having a personal restraining order from the state I live in granted higher protection and response time in the case of Twomad showing up to harm me. It would explicitly define the places he could not visit, such as my work, home, or areas I frequent. I filed a petition referencing the TwitchCon incident and Twomad not surrendering his firearms, as well as the valid reason to fear for my life, primarily due to false swatting calls in the past. Swatting will be brought up during one of the hearings later. It's important to note that Twomad's possession of real firearms was fully confirmed at that time, as well as the fact that he wouldn't surrender them. I was told to include that information in the petition by the investigations and was advised to attach all public photographs of Twomad with what was suspected to be real firearms. So in fairness, he says it's fully confirmed, and then he says it's suspected real firearms. We'll see what we have here. Does the adverse party own a gun or have a gun in his or her possession and control? He says yes when he fills this out. While Twomad had used his real firearms in malicious ways in the past, during the TwitchCon incident, Twomad hadn't directly threatened to use firearms, and the counterterrorism unit told me not to check that box, clarifying that. Did the other person use or threaten to use a weapon? No. It's worth reminding that once again, at no point in my petition or public statements have I said he threatened to shoot up the convention center.
So there it is. Okay, I see.
So he decided he was coming to with him, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is kind of what my suspicion, right? Because like if he had a quote of Twomad saying I'm going to shoot this place up, like he would have posted that pretty quickly, I would think. But in reality, I think it's a situation because here's the thing, right? Jameskii, I do not want to be too quick to say like this guy's just also a paranoid schizo. You know what I mean? Like he's like too paranoid or whatever. Because I understand how a normal a normal person this could weigh heavy on your mind, especially Twomad is a schizo, right? Or was a schizo, sorry. But like in my mind, yeah, it's just that he learned that Twomad wanted to go there, right? And in his head, he probably imagined the worst case scenario, right? And so, yeah, if I had to guess, it was a situation where Jameskii, Twomad didn't like explicitly say he was going to shoot up the place, but like Jameskii,
given everything, he assumed he might come to hurt him or something.
Yeah.
Protection orders aren't given out lightly by the court, so the case for it was scheduled. Twomad attempted to avoid the court summons service, but was tricked into coming outside by a professional who provided Twomad with the necessary paperwork needed for the hearing. Address of the party was served. I served the party by personal service. A person delivered the documents listed in item 2 to the party or person authorized to receive process for the party. Person served papers. Okay, blah, blah, blah. During the protection order hearing, upon discovering the information from the investigation, the court granted a full protection order for the longest term allowed by the legal code, with the ability to request an extension before the expiration date. The court finds that stalking, aggravated stalking, and or harassment has occurred. Note, legally harassment is a severe criminal offense, not just someone being a jerk online. Here we go, the source. Harassment definitions and penalties without lawful
That was,
authority.
by the way, so sorry. This is basically he's saying this is the conclusion of the court case, right? That Twomad was saying was a lawsuit, but in reality was just a restraining order hearing, right? Applying for a restraining order. Is this?
I mean, they got the restraining order as a thing.
Yeah.
For 3 years, I think.
Right. 3 years. Was it 3 years? Yeah. Okay. I'll double check the doc. Yeah, I'll double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I looked into it, and 3 years is the max, like in the jurisdiction or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense.
Without lawful authority, the person knowingly threatens to cause injury, harm. But I mean, I think we get the idea. Being schizo.
Yeah.
Violation of this order is a crime. That didn't stop Twomad later, so he was on the hook for it. It wasn't the first or last time he actively looked for me or the victims. Violated stalking and harassment. Completed yes, and. Domestic violence, entry, premises entered, weapons, criminal activities. So no weapons, no criminal activity, but he did enter the premises of somewhere, and he did commit domestic violence, I guess, according to this.
Right. Wait. Well, sorry, could you repeat that one more time? Just because I think that I might know a little bit about this.
So they're saying here that he violated the restraining order by entering a premises he wasn't supposed to be on and committing domestic violence. I thought he went to his neighbor's house or something. I think he told me that.
This is yeah, exactly, yeah. So
but the neighbor didn't have a restraining order against him, no?
Right, but I think that it's possible. I mean, look, I'm not sure, but like it's possible that a part of his restraining order, I guess, maybe made it so that he wasn't allowed to like trespass in general, something like that. I don't know.
I mean, you're not allowed to trespass anyway, so it seems redundant.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. I guess so. Yeah.
But I guess they're saying that would also be a violation if he commits a crime. It violates the restraining order as well. So
yeah.
It's double jeopody type meme.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. Because here's the thing, though. I think that I remember there being claims that you know, he was showing up at Goldie Bell's house, right? Yeah. Anyway, but in terms of like that he actually got arrested for or whatever, or not even arrested, but like reprimanded for. Yeah, the neighbor thing was like a big thing. Like he was probably twacked, and he, I think, collapsed his neighbor's fence or something like that, and was just, you know, antagonizing him, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. By the way, I messaged Jameskii for anyone questioning to ask if he would want to do an interview, but he just didn't. He didn't say anything. So I don't know. Maybe he's busy or something. Maybe he's sleeping after working on this feverishly for 38 schizo hours, 38 days in a row. Seems like a lot went into this.
Yeah.
Twomad had committed numerous assaults, including intercourse. By legal definition, California was categorized under the assault offense. He was supposed to be arrested by the authorities and prosecuted by the DA for several crimes, but his passing happened before they were able to do so. Twomad was under investigation for a very long time before his passing, including before the primary restraining order case hearings. To be very clear, the criminal cases involving Twomad are completely separate from the civil ones. In addition, restraining order civil cases can't result in jail time. These are completely separate.
Interesting.
So this permanent restraining order, civil case. So this is Goldie Bell. Criminal prosecution for multiple felonies by the government handled by authorities. That being said, violating a restraining order is a criminal offense. So he's saying there was some other case where he raped someone.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if that's what that means. I think what he means is that the civil case was all that Jameskii was funding and like trying to make happen, right? Like that's what like a civilian can do, is just like make a civil case against someone. Whereas if the government chooses to prosecute him, like, you know, arrest him, and actually it's like an actual.
But isn't is he not saying that that was happening?
Yeah, exactly. So he's saying basically like the government of LA or whatever was gonna prosecute the case against him, right? Which they wouldn't do that unless they thought they had a solid case. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where he's basically saying like, I wasn't just like randomly targeting this guy. Like even the government was thinking like this guy is committed a crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually that's supported. Sorry, that's supported, semi-supported by I believe the hearing that was in early September. I think it was September 16th, but in that proceeding, right, the judge he delayed the case, and he extended the restraining order. So he like added an amount of distance that he had to stay away from her, right? And it said that the reason the case got delayed was due to a pending criminal case, right? So
I wonder if are we gonna get information about that case here, though.
I would hope so, but the problem is that he is dead, right? So it's like,
but if there must be like, I don't know, someone willing to talk about it, because like he's dead, but like, well then it like may not have, like in my mind, like if I can't see it, it may as well not have happened, you know?
No, I know what you mean, yeah, but I'm just saying that to point out like the literal court documents that the judge, you know, made note of did say that the initial court date was delayed due to a pending criminal case. You know what I mean? So there is potential that Jameskii's telling the truth there. The thing is that we might not be able to know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I know the judge said that there's a pending criminal case, but
right.
Just the judge might have just said that because like Isabella's lawyer or whatever told him that, and so he was just like,
no, actually, the interesting thing, at least this is what I remember, but what I remember, I believe, is that their lawyer, whatever, Jameskii's lawyer, whatever, it was Isabella's lawyer, they actually didn't want the thing to be postponed or whatever, right? Like they wanted just to get the restraining order that day, right? but the judge overruled it because there was this pending criminal case. So I don't know. Anyway, it's possible, but you're right though. There's like, I don't know. I haven't seen like hard proof that this was actually going to manifest, but in my mind, it was more than likely like the judge was aware that there could be a criminal case coming.
Yeah, I know that sometimes somebody in chat is pointing out rightfully that depending on the nature of the case, if it involves sensitive information of a victim, they might seal it and make it private. That's true, but if it is private and we don't know anything about it and nobody's willing to talk about it, in my opinion, it may not have happened. You know, like that's kind of the way I have to see it because I feel like I have to have some evidence of something, right?
Yeah,
like I have to see something.
Well, like this case especially, bro, because it's like very few reliable narrators. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Twomad is like an almost completely unreliable narrator, right? But even Jameskii, like again, I mean, we're still making it through this, but I want to see what his claims are for like the pedophilia and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
I just got raided by Destiny. It's so over.
Really?
It's actually over. What's up, DGGers? Let's keep going through this document. I want to keep going through this. For all the new viewers who just joined, we are currently reviewing the Twomad court document, which is very swag and interesting. I'm having a good time. Or sorry, not court document. Jameskii's document about Twomad's court proceedings is what we're going over. All right. That being said, violating a civil restraining order is a criminal offense since it goes directly against the court's orders. The government handled the visual evidence for SA in a separate criminal case. The civil restraining order only included the information necessary to protect the victim, not prosecute Twomad. The authorities don't casually get out information about criminal investigations to strangers, let alone provide the public with sensitive evidence submitted by the victims. However, the DA had access to a large amount of proof of Twomad's doings, including videos. Twomad had secretly recorded of him committing some of the crimes against his victims, including SA. By February, the investigation had access to everything necessary for the prosecution, and it was only a matter of putting the paperwork together and issuing the arrest warrant to Twomad. There were no lawsuits, neither from victims nor from the witnesses. There were no lawsuits at any point. Twomad and his friends fabricated a lie to slander the names of people he hurt. At no point during the 6-month period had Twomad been able to provide any evidence to support his made-up claims. Nature of proceedings, petitions, civil harassment. Twomad used the illusory truth tactic and claimed there's a lawsuit over and over in order to make his fans parrot what he's saying, even though they're incorrect. Many people are not qualified to accurately discuss legal documents. They have no idea what they're talking about and don't put effort into actual research before presenting their opinions as facts to the unaware. I witnessed a considering number of fabricated stories based on carefully picked bits of information to make their versions seem legit. This is extremely dangerous and has caused issues for real-world investigations. Timeline of notable legal events involving one of the restraining orders. At the beginning of July, the court issued a restraining order against Twomad. The whole point was to protect the person he was trying to physically hurt. I want to make it very clear the order was in full effect. It was not, and was just simply not permanent. I certify the temporary restraining order is true and correct. Blah, blah, blah.
Would you mind resuming your stream? I can't.
Oh, you can't? Yeah.
See, right now it says Turkey Tom.
Here you go.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Jameskii laced Twomad Xanax with Fent. I don't think he had to do that for Twomad to die, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. Yeah,
I think that was not necessary, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. But in terms of what you were just saying there, like I personally, I haven't seen any evidence that there was like an actual lawsuit where they were trying to get money, specifically like money out of Twomad or whatever, because that was like his thing that he was saying nonstop, right?
Exactly.
Which honestly is so weird to me, man, because it is so weird because he claimed that he wasn't affected by, you know, like he said basically if it was just stalking, if he was only being like accused of stalking or whatever, then he wouldn't care. But like at the end of the day, like it was just if it's just a restraining order case, like why was he so like crazily obsessive about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, C Stoney says I'm out because y'all are reading a doc from someone who is in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry that you don't like that we're reading something, but I want to know if he's in the wrong or if he's in the right. So obviously we're gonna read this, dude.
Yeah, what the hell?
Are you botting? Yeah, I'm view botting right now. That's where all the viewers came from. I'm view botting. Dude.
Shout out Destiny.
Shout out Destiny for the view bots. The hearing to convert this order into a permanent order was scheduled 3 weeks in advance, giving Twomad a substantial amount of time to prepare. Okay, Twomad hired a criminal lawyer and not a civil one. Twomad could plead the fifth during the criminal proceedings for his crimes, including SA. However, the testimonies from the civil cases can still be used against him. Thus, Twomad's main objective was to stall the civil case as much as possible to avoid testimony and discoveries. The legal code allows either party to request a continuance during a hearing. In simple terms, continuance equals postponement of the hearing to a different date. Generally, the first continuance request is almost always granted so the respondent can find a lawyer and both parties have more time to prepare. During the first hearing, both we and the respondent agreed to a continuance. Usually, the restraining order hearings are postponed for no more than 2 weeks. Thank you, Thiologist, for the gifted memberships. Yeah, sorry, more than a few weeks, but it's entirely up to the judge. The judge gave a 2-month continuance, as in the order will still be in full effect, but the hearing regarding making it permanent was moved to the end of September.
For just to give you a sec, but like also, so that's the first time. So from what I remember, the first hearing or whatever was in July, right? And so that got delayed 2 months into September. And so the context of our interview that we did that ended up getting cited in court, right, in the documents,
in the civil case,
right? Yeah. So the interview we did happened like two weeks before he was going to go to court in September, right?
Yeah.
So it had already been delayed, and obviously what shocked us was like this guy got it delayed already, and then he came onto the stream and it was 2 weeks out and he still kind of was barely coherent about what his case even really was, you know what I mean? Like he was barely able to like argue for himself, you know what I mean? He was just like convinced that he would win the case because
so Kankelmore just sent us a picture. I don't know if I can show this on stream, but it's a picture of Twomad holding a bottle of what seems to be Mexican Xanax called Pharmapram. Can I show this on stream?
Can you send it to me?
He said he sent it to you too, but I'll send it.
Oh, my bad. Oh, thank you, bro. Okay, I see.
I don't know if I can even open this on stream. Can we show illicit substances?
But this is the reason, I think, is because this is probably what the picture is that Twomad sent him that Jameskii quote cited. You know what I mean? Because in one of those videos with Kankelmore, Twomad said, "I'll send you a picture." Right?
Right. Yeah, I remember that. So he took whatever this is. Pharmapram has fentanyl, someone said.
I'm more interested in what's.
Can I even post this picture on Twitter?
Farm plan.
Pharmapram, and below that it says alprazolam tableta, which just means tablet, I think.
Are you showing it? I'm just gonna show it.
You're gonna show it?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's anything horrible.
This is what was shown.
So is that like a Nerf gun at the bottom left? That image?
I can't even tell. Is that maybe it's a shaker cup for like G Fuel? I can't even tell what that is, honestly.
There's like a coil, I think.
Maybe it's a giant elf bar. It's an oversized elf bar.
Should we you tell me, but should we get Kankelmore in the call? Because obviously that guy he was pretty like the fact that he was talking to Twomad when he was in like the worst state. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that. Why not have him on for a bit?
Yeah, but Kankelmore, if you, I don't know if you're able to call or not, but if you're not, just let us know if there's anything.
I'm gonna shoot him a message. I'm gonna say, do you want to call it?
Yeah, but if there's anything, in case he's listening, whatever. But if there's anything that you would want us to know or whatever, just feel free to type it in chat or DM us, whatever.
You can also see his cat in the background.
Yeah,
on the top left of this picture. And it looks like he looked up pharma plan here.
Right, and
which is not what it says here.
yeah, exactly. But Kankelmore was saying basically he sent the photo of the Xanax he bought. He said they're Mexican. I'm assuming they aren't as potent. So he's basically saying it might be plausible that he did take 20 bars. It probably wasn't actually 20, but like the reason he's guessing is because it's less potent than like a pharmaceutical grade American company.
Airsoft & Co. said, you were gifted a sub you weren't even watching? Well, based. CL for 20 says, Twomad down drugs just like food. Rip Twomad. Mino Sabe says, don't know if you can answer this. What happened to Augie? He exists. He's around. He's doing Pharmapram. That's what I heard. Last I heard, he's doing a lot of Pharmapram. No, he's fine. He's just chilling. Kankelmore said he can't call in. He's at work.
Okay, just the only thing I would want to ask is, does he have any clue when Twomad started taking like serious drugs, right? Like hard.
I'm gonna say, do you know when Twomad started taking hard at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like the big thing, right? I'm trying to trying to understand.
You want a
to be
mental
honest, is-
destruction timeline.
Yeah, but also I want to understand, how is Minx involved? Like I feel like I remember some weird details.
Here's what Minx tweeted out. I don't know how to feel right now. Jameskii responded, just got a full confirmation that I can tell the public you actively interfere with investigations and assisted Twomad by revealing him confidential information provided by the authorities. And you encouraged him to kill himself for hours, days before the tragedy. You even talked about it on streams.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah.
He also sent this clip. Of all people she knew, there was never a lawsuit. In fact, she has contributed quite a bit to a lot of the stuff that happened over the years involving Twomad and his victims. She switched sides back to back. This is her a few days ago.
I think he's just trying to cope because he has nothing left to live for, which I understand because he hasn't.
I get horrible vibes from Minx as well, man. Yeah, so this is why I'm really curious about Minx's involvement, bro, because it's like, if, you know, like, because Minx obviously does not strike any of us, I don't think, as like a person who's like got their life together, or at the very least, like she's clearly got her own problems. And so if she's somebody who's like whispering in Twomad's ear, like I'm just, again, this is why I want to understand, like, when did he take the leap into doing that was actually going to kill him? You know what I mean? Because look, I don't, as far as I'm aware, you cannot die from ketamine abuse.
Yeah, Muzin says, hey, I'm interested, Tom. What is the goal of Twomad allegations? What's being accomplished? Well, I think in Jameskii's view, he's getting the truth out about a situation that he hasn't been able to talk about for a long time. So if you want to give him a charitable view, that would be it. If you want to give him an uncharitable view, it would be now that he's dead, he can finally slander him. Those are the two views you can give, basically, like charitable versus uncharitable to Jameskii, but I don't know what the truth is yet. But I will say, like, a decent amount of this document is unquestionably making Twomad look like a schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And also maybe even a murderer. Yeah. Maybe even a potentially murderous one, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, are you that surprised? Because for me,
I'm not that surprised, but seeing it is crazy, especially now that he's gone.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's possible I've seen just too much of his, like it's, I don't know. I've just been exposed to too much of this guy. Like, bro, some of the shit that he was saying, it's just like it's like completely self-destructive, but beyond that, it's just like demented. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How many pages are left? 32 pages are left. Twomad could plead the fifth during the criminal proceeding for his crimes, including SA. However, the testimonies from the civil cases can still be used against him. Thus, Twomad's main objective was to stall the civil case to avoid testimony and discoveries. The legal code allows either party to request a continuance. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Twomad used the entirety of every single continuance to play video games all day. He live streamed himself playing Overwatch at least 44 times since the permanent restraining order case began. Threatened witnesses to do with the cases, including those who had to physically restrain him from hurting one of his victims in the past. Here we have Twomad's closest friends at the time he tried to physically intervene to help the victim escape after Twomad started chasing her. One of his friends helped the victim escape. Twomad took a photo of them standing visibly disappointed to taunt them afterward.
Ooh, wait.
So is this after Isabella left the house?
One sec. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So
you can see there's this picture here.
This is fascinating because actually I've never seen this before.
I didn't even know anyone else was present ever.
No, I knew that. We knew that. That was in the interview that we did. This was like actually a pretty.
If that's the case, I forgot that someone else showed up.
No, this is an important detail because the big thing was that she was running out of the house, and this is when the alleged groping happened, right? The
Yeah.
And she was running out of the house like panicked or whatever, and his friends had just arrived in the driveway because they had like plans to go do something, right? And so then me and Bernie, I'll just say like me and Bernie, we were trying to figure out who were the friends so that we could like get their account, right? Because if we can get the friends to say that, yeah, she was freaked out, then at the very least that kind of, to a degree, that validates the fact of like she literally like was freaked out.
How did they even get this picture? Did Twomad send it to someone?
That's what I'm wondering. I have no idea. I've never seen this. That's why I'm confused.
I mean, he is enough to send evidence. I mean, he basically did that in our stream, but what is this?
Yeah. Well, he 100% did that in our stream, but yeah. That's what I'm trying to understand, yeah, because with this though, okay, this is actually really useful. I mean, me and probably Bernie or whatever, we would have to figure out who, because with that we could probably tell which friends that is, those are, sorry, whatever, but. Yeah, no, okay. I really want to know where he got that.
I think this is clearly an Ethan Klein fan and Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
versus the World. I think this is what we're dealing with here. I think that's pretty obvious.
Facts.
You think in a few weeks I'm going to forget about taking you down with me? Bro, even if you send the screenshot, I'm going to make sure your name, face, everything is on there in that video. Even if it's taken down, will be re-uploaded so many times. Send screenshots. Yo. DJ career already dead. We chillin', then no need to end you. Intimidate more victims of his past predatory behavior in order to prevent them from coming forward publicly and testifying in court. I guess he called them. You can see nonstop. You can see there's like multiple notifications buried. Here he says, I'm not in love with you. Pick up phone. I'm not going to call you a million times. I'm not going to give you the satisfact job. Interesting. You always, no matter what, pick up. But when I get canceled, radio silence, very mentally ill, just like her.
I'm trying to wait up.
Basically, he's saying that he was intimidating some of the victims here. I don't know if it's these people. This message is something he sent
friends.
these people. This message is something he sent the friends. This one is supposedly some other victim he sent this to.
This is really interesting. Okay, so I guess the friends provided this, right?
They would have provided this, and the other victim would have provided this. Because he said intimidate more victims of his past predatory behavior. And this is this.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to try and reach out to the friends,
Yeah, we absolutely need that, without question. This one is crazy. I'm going to make sure your name, face, everything is on there. The video we uploaded so many times. He's starting to just publicly dox them, basically.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember this at all, but there was one friend that he was mentioning who he was saying...
Bella had a friend that was a file that wrote the apology that Twomad sent her that was a fake apology.
Right. But the thing is that what you need to understand is that guy was Twomad's friend, but then this incident happened and he became... Like that guy became closer to Isabella, right? Like after this.
But this
event
person
happened.
is not Jameskii, to be clear.
No,
this is someone else. Maybe it's one of these two people. Maybe it's someone else. I don't know.
Yeah, I do believe it is probably the guy on the right, but this is that we'll confirm later.
Kanklemore said, "I don't know when it started, but he told me in late January that he quit drugs altogether. I mean, he could have just been lying. I think. Yeah. Maybe he stopped for 1 hour."
Okay.
He had also intentionally violated his restraining order multiple times. The way he did it made each instance a felony. The way he did it made each instance a felony, not a misdemeanor, as in multiple instances were separate, and each one would count as its own felony in this context. It wasn't limited to just this, and I'm just scraping the tip of the iceberg from the court's perspective. The horrifying part is that he was doing all this while preying on new, unsuspecting victims, primarily targeting young girls and those who were unaware of his past.
Okay.
How did this all start for you guys, if you don't mind me asking? We matched on Tinder in July of last year. Yeah, that's what happened with me. He got my Instagram from my Hinge profile. To be clear, I don't know who this person is. I have no idea who they are. I have no idea. I mean, for all I know, this could be fake. Like, I'm not saying that I think Jameskii's necessarily lying, but what I am saying is, like, I need a little more proof, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. But here's the... would you be down? Like, I don't know what you generally do, but like, if you independently verified it, but then it wasn't released, do you think that, like, would you be cool with that, or would you prefer that it was just public and then you report on it type of thing? You get what I'm saying?
Public, absolutely.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
I personally don't. I don't want to be burdened with the knowledge, first of all, that no one else has, and then secondly, like,
understood.
Why would people just trust me, right? Like, what reason do people have to just trust me automatically? Like, I feel like I don't want people to just take me at my word for some that happened, like, especially about like a dead guy who can't even defend himself now, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, if it could be independently verified, I would want to take a look at it, but I wouldn't publish anything about it.
Right.
If I don't know, you know? Or sorry, if I can't talk about it, because I don't expect people to just believe me.
Yeah.
I guess Jameskii's explanation is the victims don't want to be public, but I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something else. He also publicized himself doing a lot of it as well, both on live streams and social media. He didn't just do it online or over the phone. He went as far as to meet some of the girls in person. Okay, here we have this.
See, I get... See?
What the was that?
Evidence, I guess.
Bro, wait, sorry. So this is just a woman?
See, I get... See?
I think the implication is that this is some woman he met up with and he was like bragging about being with her or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Flexing, yeah.
How
How
do I-
long are his nails?
See, I get.
They look kind of long, but I can't really tell.
See?
What?
I don't even. I'm sorry. This isn't evidence of anything in my mind.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can't even see the girl, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, like what? Like if he meets up with a girl, unless that girl is saying, coming out publicly, like what does that do for us?
So I said, where is the attempted murder evidence? Him being creepy harasser is the only evidence I see. Attempted murder, don't have evidence of that. We have evidence. I guess we're going through that right now. So I guess we'll find out if that is in here. Twomad lost his civil cases in full. He's also been a drug addict for years and didn't just start ketamine recently. You can easily find references to it, alibis from his ex-friends, and the now deleted video he published for his Patreon supporters. Bruh by Twomad Gang. 13 minutes of me high on ketamine.
2021. Yeah.
Twomad created a false narrative to twist the entire situation, lying about everything for months. His facade was basically that his evil ex is just mad and is now suing him for money, despite the fact that the particular victim in question was never in a romantic relationship with him and that they only knew each other for a short period of time. There was never a relationship. It was made up by a delusional sex offender, and his false claims were shut down by judge.
Yeah.
Twomad is the Ghostbusters Slimer in human form. I think that's actually accurate. I think it's fair to say.
Facts.
He was simply delusional. The reality is that Twomad is a physically violent predator who went after the most vulnerable victims, and he went out of his way to hurt them or to silence them, leading to the victims seeking protection from him while the DA was preparing the paperwork. The prostitution was also entirely made up by Twomad in an attempt to discredit the victim in the public eye. The investigation fully debunked it, including the fake messages he posted on Twitter that his fans took as gospel at the time, which is brought up again later in this document. Again, there was literally no money involved, as there wasn't a single lawsuit. He made all that up to poison his fans against his victim in an attempt to save himself, as that victim had the most evidence against him. All of that was public records.
Yeah, from what I can tell, this is accurate. Like, from what I'm aware, at least.
Yeah, this particular case was about the judge-signed court-issued restraining order. We have a signature there. The hearing was only to make it permanent. Once again, this is not a lawsuit. Twomad can tell lies to his fans all he wants with factual information and would always debunk it. I still don't know about these other victims that supposedly existed. I have no evidence that they even are real.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about that random Discord messages?
The random Discord one, and then the video of him being like, I get... Like, neither of those really show me anything. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you that there was a point in October or November where I do remember him flexing or making reference to the fact that he was, seeing another woman or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what, like if he's just seeing another woman, like that doesn't really mean anything unless that woman comes out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see if I can find them anyway, but probably not.
No, I assume not. Okay. Going back to the case timeline, right before the September hearing, days before the scheduled date, the defense, aka Twomad, and his lawyer said they will not proceed in the agreed Tuesday date, stating some nonsense excuses primarily related to sudden unavailability, despite the fact they had chose the date 2 months in advance. They attempted to push another continuance to avoid the hearing, but we didn't agree to it. On the September hearing date, Twomad realized he would see his victims in person. He panicked and decided to hide in the courthouse's cafeteria on a different floor instead of showing up in the courtroom itself. While the hearing was supposed to take place, as everyone was also present, he was clowning on the court and the judge, trying to make a circus out of the whole situation. Once again, he did all that while hiding away, as he was too afraid to look in the eyes of the people he had done irreparable damage to. Since everyone else was present, the hearing took place, during which it was brought up that Twomad was purposely making the victim's life a living hell, while simultaneously making a circus out of this. They also claimed they were unavailable, yet Twomad showed up at the courthouse, but not the courtroom itself. I mean, we can see here, I remember this picture being posted on Twitter.
I do too, yeah. I remember, yeah. This is in my version of the interview, yeah. Note the Lightning McQueen Crocs, by the way.
Pretty fire court fit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You can see in the corner there, Lightning McQueen. We do have these screenshots Kenkelmore sent as well, which are interesting.
Okay.
These are from the 20th of January. Yo, Wave, how you been doing with the drugs? Did you try what I told you with the psychedelics in place of bars? I forgot what you said about psychs. I quit drugs, for real. You're off everything? Yes. Oh, good. How have you been feeling? And how long has it been? I forget because drug. Fair Lamau. I mean, here is he not saying I'm off drugs? How long have you been off? I forgot because I'm on drugs. Is that kind of what he's saying?
That's what I'm interpreting, more or less.
Yeah. Watching Death Note to mentally prepare on most effective way to make this jump out of her skin in my apartment. Note, Twomad targeted the family house of one of his victims after posting this. Do we have evidence of him targeting the family house, and what does that mean? Did he target him with a gun? Did he go in? Like, what happened?
Yeah, we need something. We need something, bro, because that's like anything that is like proof of that would just really help, like really help. Man, but yeah, this is kind of a thing, by the way. Twomad's ideal ego was Light Yagami from Death Note.
Yeah,
this is something that I realized while I spent that month looking into this, is that like consistently for the last like 2 years, Twomad, anytime he would say some like that was just clearly self-destructive, he would like put like Light Yagami laughing, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's reflected in our interview with him, where he basically was acting aloof and unbothered the entire time.
Yeah,
he was the master of puppets, you know.
Yeah, keep in mind as well that in the conversation he sent to us of him talking to Goldie Bell, right, and like
the
obviously
video?
being the video, he's talking about how she would look hot in a Misa Misa cosplay, which is like the girl who's infatuated with Light Yagami. So this is like this is the thing. This doesn't really mean too much, but it kind of gives you a perspective, like from Twomad's mind, like his ideal ego, the best version of himself that he would like to imagine himself as, is like a literal psychopath that gets away with killing people. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the plot of Death Note, is that he's a genius. He doesn't feel any empathy. And I mean, at the end of the day, like he thinks like he's a god, right? This whole thing, like
the show ends with him losing his mind and dying, though.
Yeah, exactly. That just sent a chill down my spine.
TBG says, I knew Dia for a bit, and his lack of video response was a textbook sign of delusion and depression. From my few interactions with him post-Spiral, the people around him were clearly making the situation worse. TBG, would you want to call in? Who was around this guy in real life? Just the situation aside, Twomad was actively making it difficult for his victims to come forward and testify, especially as the hearing days would be getting closer. So glad she had the courage to share what happened, but yes, dude is mental and had all of us scared, and scared for her, literally caught in 4K. Just hopping on here to say, Twomad is a piece of shit who assaulted my friend and stalked her, would not leave me alone and others my dear friend knew, and is genuine danger to women he talks to, and is proven by his behavior. If you support him, never speak to me again. Victim's roommate. Who is this? Who are these people? I understand the intent to hide their identity. From Jameskii's perspective is to not, you know, have them dragged into this publicly forever. But if I don't know how I'm supposed to just believe, you know? That's my problem mostly.
Yeah. It's like the thing is like...
The thing is, like, I'm almost inclined to believe it, but I just need a little more.
Well, it's just like, Jameskii, like, these are public tweets, bro. Just uncensor it, man.
This is a public tweet. Why is this censored? I have to be able to show this, right?
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt. Like, this is just, like, genuinely just being too, I feel like being too, I don't know why he would censor it, to be honest. Maybe the person asked him.
Just hopping on here to say, Twomad is a piece of who assaulted my friend and stalked her. Boom. Okay, found it. She wanted this to be out, so I don't know why this is censored whatsoever.
Yeah, it's very odd. But yeah, there's she did post DMs of Twomad kind of harassing her. Yeah.
This girl
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, this Jinx girl. Yeah, she's like one of the people who came out, I think, around the same time as Bella. I'll try to find them.
Is this person friends with Isabella? Is that the meme?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure that this is like an IRL friend with her, right? And so like Twomad would message this woman saying
also,
like, what?
We can just search her at and keyword search Twomad, right?
Yeah. One sec.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think I found the DMs you're talking about. You have a marketable skill. It's called being sexy vampire. You're pretty good at it. She says, bruh. He says, I know a girl who makes over 100K a month, and she's not as hot as you.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Dude, this is like the DMs he sent to the what was the shoe on head?
Wait, what?
The shoe on head girl. Her name starts with a K. Kiwi Sun. Okay, Kiwi Sunset. Yes, yeah. He sent her DMs that was like, look at my Ethiopian magnificine. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, man, every single interaction that Twomad has with a girl in text is like, it reads like total incel. Like it's hilarious in a weird context, but it's like absolutely completely incel. You know what I mean?
Dude, you want me admit it is so funny, dude. I mean, I know it's
just
I know it's
crazy.
bad, but I think it's really funny. But
On
I
a
think it's
meta
hilarious.
level, I get what you mean. Yeah,
It's not just meta. It's like just imagine saying this.
No, yeah, I agree.
Like, dude, I'll never have the confidence to say I know you want me.
Yeah, man.
Just someone
Imagine
who
having
clearly
like
doesn't. That's
imagine having, like-
unspoken riz right there.
Oh yeah, bro, it's massive riz. Imagine having 3 million subs and messaging, like just dry messaging like that, like just no lube, nothing. It's crazy.
200 piece of assaulted my friend and stalked her, wouldn't leave me alone. Yeah, well, guess we found that. And here we just have, looks like someone's trying to download Google Drive right now, and then it just shows him calling and saying, bro, do not leave me alone. Victim's roommate. Oh, so this must be, maybe this is Isabella's roommate or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. They're IRL friends. Yeah. I believe. Yeah, that's probably right. No, that's definitely right. Yeah, sorry, but the thing is that's weird is it's like, Twomad basically, he's interacting with Isabella or whatever, and then he's, messaging her roommate,
Messaging anyone peripheral to try to get in.
Yeah, but like also messaging the roommate that she's like hotter than her, right?
Yeah.
So it's like divine Riz basically. Like this guy's a fucking champion.
To be clear, Kankelmore said, I think he meant because Xanax makes you black out or because he his memory in general. He could have lied. I won't count that out, but I can't think of a reason to lie to me specifically. When I was on drugs 7 years ago, there were always a few people I was cool with and had no similar issues in their past. Those kinds of people I couldn't find a reason to lie to about my situation, but obviously I'm not too mad, LOL. So that's what Kankelmore's response was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to believe, to be honest. Like, I don't know. If he wasn't, like, what made him relapse? Just being bored, probably? I don't know.
Yeah, I assume that would have to be it. Twomad's lawyer requested another continuance due to a separate criminal case, and the judge issued another 2 months to prepare for the next hearing. Respondent is forced to invoke his Fifth Amendment right and cannot proceed. Pending criminal case. Okay. New court date, December 5th, 2023. The judge had also increased the distance Twomad can't get near his victim. The judge deemed it necessary. We didn't request the increase. Court adds 100 yards to stay away provision of the temporary restraining order.
Yeah, we had this. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where it's like the judge just like, that's kind of to me a statement where like the judge is going out of their way to be like, okay, we're delaying the court case or whatever, but we gotta like add an extra, level to this because this guy's cracked.
Since it takes a moment before some public records become digitally accessible, Twomad used it as an opportunity to weaponize and lie about the outcome, making it seem like he won a made-up lawsuit. According to Twomad, the judge looked at it and just threw it away. He even claimed that the victim didn't show up. This added fuel to his false narrative, leading some fans to believe it initially without critically thinking about it. I'm here ready to face plaintiff. Ends up she didn't show up. Guess she wasn't confident like she thought in her case. Wait, I won the court case. They only got a restraining order. Woo.
I remember this, bro.
They was asking for 25 to 50K in jail time. They only got restraining order for but the jail time was never on the table, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's lying. This is what he's saying, basically. Like, Twomad, and he was lying.
My question is he lying or is he just...
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question. I would lean toward he was just, like, delusionally lying. Like, I don't know. I guess...
Delusionally lying? You, like, convincing himself, or...?
Yeah, but, like, at the same time, like, where did he get this 25 to 50K? Like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Maybe he convinced himself, sure, but I've never seen anything like that. Like, maybe from his lawyer? Like, was that what his lawyer was expecting? I don't know.
I don't know.
But the big thing, the big thing is that I remember this because I was waiting for the verdict, right? And so the second that he posts the picture of him with the Lightning McQueen shoes, and then like 30 minutes later, he's like, I won, it's over. You know what I mean? And then like a day later, the actual court documents get released, and it's like, no, it just got delayed into December or something. And the judge added 100 yards, and there's now a thing that says it was delayed due to a pending criminal case, right? So it's like, oh no, he didn't win.
He also intentionally violated the order again within an hour to taunt his victim, which is once again a separate criminal instance that leads to a criminal prosecution. I have an active and enforceable restraining order in place that has been approved in full and signed by the judge against Twomad. The hearing was rescheduled, and that is all. It is a TRL petition, not a lawsuit. I won, judge only approved restraining order, and that's it. Rest of claims. Bro just broke the restraining order. I mean, yeah. The new hearing for the permanent order was scheduled for December 2023 to make the existing order permanent. Twomad had several cases, but he would keep talking about this one in particular because he knew that the victim had the most evidence of him being a serial criminal and to derive the public's attention from everything else that was going on. Wait, I won the court case. I only got a restraining order. Woo. No, you didn't. I don't know who this is.
Right. I mean, this whole part to me is like not that important because it's like, yeah, he's like Twomad was wrong. Like the court case wasn't over that day.
Twomad responded to her saying, "Aren't you fat and ugly too?"
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Crazy, bro.
That's great. It's just funny because it's like she's posting the DMs of him saying she's hot, and then he's like, "You're fat and ugly."
Yeah, you want me.
Yeah, facts.
Twomad was purposely stalling out the victim's testimony because he knew that not only would the eyes of the law be aware of crucial details about his actions, but the public would also be able to see them. At the time, he knew that if he continued dragging it out, it would hurt him financially. So if you look at page 1 of this guy, civil case cover sheet, unlimited amount demanded exceeds $25,000. I do remember this.
Okay.
From the cover sheet, but I mean, they never ended up getting money, but this is probably why you thought 25, because they checked unlimited amount demanded exceeds 25.
I see. Okay.
Even though technically he lost and he didn't lose money to them specifically, but yeah, it seems like it wasn't a specific lie, that one thing.
No, understood. Okay.
Twomad was purposely stalling out the victim's testimony, blah, blah, blah. If I say remove lawsuit 30 times, will Jameskii remove lawsuit? What if I say trial can cost up to $500K to $1 million? I'm firing my lawyer, so Jameskii is the only one who keeps to lose his money, lol. He knew that I couldn't afford to pay. I would not be able to shelter his victims in person away from him, and he would be able to create a different narrative to try and avoid the consequences of the public eye. Throughout my experience with Twomad, his actions cost me over 6 figures in damages over the span of 5 years. For this case alone, due to him purposely making it complicated for everyone else, I had to sell my car so I could afford to protect all his victims to begin with. Legal fees aren't cheap, and considering how much stuff he was involved with, he was trying to hurt me by any means necessary. Unsurprisingly, his actions put me under a financial burden I will address later. All right, I was curious about that, so I guess if he addresses it later, we'll get to see that within the next 20 pages.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Whichever idiot keeps spam calling you with no caller, talking about federal investigations, please do me a favor and find a door at a McDonald's, order a McChicken, and then throw it up your asshole so far that you enjoy it more than you've ever enjoyed eating it from your mouth. Where this is coming from, I got a DM from someone. They showed me these DMs where Twomad is getting like spammed incessantly, getting phone called, and he seems to think that he's getting texted. Basically, someone that knew him explained to me that Twomad was getting phone calls from someone claiming to be the Fed, saying he was being investigated.
Right.
But there didn't seem to be any proof that it was actually the LAPD. He thought he was being harassed or something.
Mm-hmm.
This DM, I don't know if I can leak this, but he's so I won't leak it public because I just don't know if the person wants me to. But they sent me a bunch of I just don't want to say names, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the big thing.
He believed he was being harassed by someone pretending to be the LAPD.
I don't know who would have had his number, but yeah.
Yeah. To give some perspective, according to him in the investigation, he spent at least $50,000 just to drag out this one particular case alone, and planned to spend even more, not the others combined, just for that one alone. Here he says, minus $150K in 2 years, lol. Tom, Vosh's son or Keffel's daughter? Vosh's son, because at least outwardly they appear normal. To no one's surprise, he lied to the public on many occasions and went to great lengths to manipulate the narrative, making it more believable to his fans and confusing creators who haven't kept up with it. He would frequently say how much it cost him and imply that he was being sued for that exact amount. Bro, if I was confident where my money goes and why I wouldn't spend $50K for do some fast and loose charity for some girl with problems. Weird extortion, angry, exaggeration, vindictive, revenge lawsuit funded by grudge-holding mega loser. No money was ever requested, and everybody knew that, as everything was public record and would always show that Twomad was lying. However, certain creators were misled into believing Twomad's narrative or purposely lied to their viewers to create a story. Who could he be referencing here? Who are these creators? Is it Henry Resilient?
Oh, right.
Is that
I see? Oh, man. Wait, we're misled into believing Twomad's narrative or purposely lied to their viewers to create a story. No, I'm trying to remember now. Because there were, when I was looking into this back in August and September, there were some YouTubers who were just kind of parroting the fact of like, there's a lawsuit, right? And it wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily malicious.
The
at
thing is,
all.
I definitely called it a lawsuit. There's no doubt I did.
Yeah. But exactly, I don't think it was necessarily malicious. It's just like basically Twomad was calling it a lawsuit. He was showing legal documents. Most YouTubers are dumbasses. We're not like that well versed, you know what I mean? So like if Twomad's saying it and then Jameskii's not really at that time not outwardly denying it, yeah, I think people just kind of ran with it. I feel like nobody had like an incentive back then to lie or whatever, to like go with Twomad's. But yes, I guess he's basically like pointing out there might have been like some oversights from some YouTubers. I don't know if he's referencing Diesel, FPS Diesel, or if he's referencing Jabroni. Maybe it's like other people. It could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure.
I haven't kept up with other people's content since then, to be honest with you.
I mean, Oompaville made a video about it. I guess it's possible.
Pretty middle of the road.
Yeah, exactly. Like these aren't people who are like go team Twomad, you know what I mean? So I don't know who he's referring to. Just quit vague posting, Jameskii. Let's show the receipts, bro.
During the time this hearing, he's an oversized YouTuber. Was it Tipster? Well, sorry, my bad. During this time between this hearing and December, he continued to make the victims and witnesses' lives a living hell, including mine. He constantly violated the restraining orders against him in different malicious ways, which led us to bring up the issue to the court. Why didn't the victim go to the police? Again, the LAPD was extremely lazy at the time and wouldn't do what was in their power. They almost never followed up on reports. Southern California police in general are notorious for their misconduct and for not doing anything in their power until it's too late. If you check the Wikipedia article for the LAPD alone, the section about their corruption and misconduct is half of the entire article. There was even an instance when Twomad made one of the victims flee as he was targeting their family house in real time. Initially, even though the situation was happening in the moment, the sheriff didn't want to take the report because the initial 911 call didn't come from that address.
Wait up, I think he's referring to Goldie Bell in that situation, because
I
do remember. Yeah, I do remember there being a claim that he was in some way like at her house or something like that. And I kind of asked him about it during the interview, but we didn't really get like any conclusive answer. I think it was that he was driving or he was in the car and he sent a picture of him driving, something like that. And it might have been interpreted as him heading over.
Well, I believe he was driving in Oregon, actually.
Yeah, that
which would be a different
happened,
jurisdiction.
Yeah. Side comment.
He was driving in Oregon the whole time.
Yeah, he's still driving in Oregon, really.
To this day.
Yeah, I mean, scroll up for a sec.
I guess this is supposed to be a bunch of police reports. He's got his little money spread.
That'd be a pretty good album cover, I feel like.
Put a parental advisory down here.
Yeah, that would go kind of hard. What would the title of that album be?
I Miss the Rage.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Driving Oregon Rage, I don't know.
Gang stalked?
Yeah. Gang stalked Oregonian Range, I don't know.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oregonian.
Look at the pigment.
Look at the pigment. What the
Okay, I know this is like supposed to be serious. I just like the Pac-Man type thing going on here.
Why is it done like that?
I don't know. I feel like you could have just used the map, maybe.
It's like a grade A under A video.
Yeah. Later that day, they took the report, but told us they would not act on it because it was happening outside of their jurisdiction. So we have another one. Twomad's official home address. Jurisdiction 3 must arrest him, not us. False. House address unsafe. Initial 911 call location. Note, LA County has over 40 separate police departments. I don't carry a ketamine, I drive. Well, thanks for the no-no, bro. They told us to go to a different police department, which then sent us back to them. So it became a game of hot potato with, well, these are the potatoes we can see, with them pointing fingers at each other, but refusing to act on it. It was always the same loop. But the order is from X, but the predator lives in Y, but the victim's address is in Z. One of the examples, police jurisdiction, hot potato. Okay.
All right, that was useless.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's basically just.
I do like the grade A under A visual though. I like this kind of.
Yeah, he put work into this.
Sam O'Nella type thing.
Yeah. Is he still planning a video, or is this?
I have no idea.
Right, probably not. I would assume not, but anyway.
Ultimately, after reading this, I mean, we're not done with it, but I have a feeling, I'm gonna come away with like, Twomad is basically indefensible as a person, but I don't know if he's a pedophile.
Yeah, I mean, same, bro. Like the second that I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, my interpretation of Jameskii, I think I told you this, but the vibe that I get is, and Twomad, yes, indefensible. I agree, pretty well at least. But it seems like a situation where Twomad is like the worst. The worst. Twomad and Jameskii are like the worst combo of people possible. You know what I mean? Where it's like Jameskii takes everything seriously, like maybe even too seriously potentially. And then Twomad takes nothing seriously.
Zero seriously. Like,
yeah, like
nothing
absolutely
serious
nothing
ever.
And it's like these two together just like completely implode their own lives. You know what I mean? Obviously, Twomad is still the main antagonist in that like relationship. But yeah, when like the interpretation I get is that Jameskii was genuinely scared and is, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like he was actually concerned, right? Otherwise, why would he bust all of those people's balls at VidCon, right? Or whatever it was, TwitchCon?
Yeah.
TwitchCon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, even if it wasn't a legitimate threat, he obviously interpreted some threatening thing could happen. And then, yeah, I mean, you take in, like, I just feel like this guy has just been holding this in for so long. And he genuinely was fearful of Twomad that the second he died, it was like such relief that he just like probably manically, just tweeted and jumped the gun because there are tons and tons and tons of tweets of him saying like that's, again, not...
As of what we've seen, is completely unsubstantiated though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean though, when I say like, because to an average person, they hear, oh, Twomad was posting like, you know, tweets that would imply he's a pedophile. The average person would hear that and be like, well, so that he is a pedophile. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what's happening with Neon right now, right?
Yeah, right. Like, in the case of Neon, yeah, I mean...
Not that we should defend what Neon did. What happened with Neon was there was some kid on stream that insulted him, and Neon made a very disgusting joke.
Right.
Yeah, but...
Or statement or whatever.
Yeah, it's a thing where, like, you know, did they express attraction to a child? No. Have they made bad contact? Like, have they made, like, illegal contact with a child? No. But,
and
like...
the thing is,
you know...
Yeah, go on.
But the average person... Or, like... But the average person just sees like them making that like crazy like Brody TV type joke, and they're like, he's guilty, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, and I understand why Jameskii would throw that in there, because it's like, yeah, Twomad's talking about, you know, joking about, again, we say joking, but it's like he's tweeting about wanting to f a 13-year-old, you know what I mean? And we don't have proof that he was messaging any 13-year-olds as far as I've seen. But, you know, the average person will look at that and be like, what a weirdo, you know? So yeah, I'm doubtful. Again, he showed those Discord conversations with just random people that we can't really confirm.
And those people didn't even say anything about age. They just said he added them on Tinder or Hinge.
That's exactly, yeah, that's exactly what I was, exactly. From what we can tell, there's just nothing about that. Like, it's harassment, it's whatever, but it's like, keep in mind, I think that it's in the original police report, but when Twomad met Isabella initially, he confirmed her ID that she was 18, right? Like, he literally, like, this is in Isabella's account. I'm very confident that he reviewed her like ID to confirm that she was 18, right? Like, he was actually kind of vigilant of that. Yeah. I'll double check that.
People have also claimed that I think this Misty girl from Twitter is the person who people are claiming is the girl that was groomed by Twomad. She posted this on her Twitter saying, someone asked her, is Twomad a pedo? No, you can stop asking me shit about Twomad, or I'm going to mute the word. I'm Misty. I'm my own person. I don't even have any association with Twomad anymore. So that's what she said. I don't know if that's real. I don't even know if that's the same girl, you know?
Yeah. So far. But if I had to guess, I think you're right. There's not going to...
We've got 17 pages left. So, you know, if it's here, it's going to be soon.
Yeah.
All right. So hot potato, whatever. The court instructed the police they were supposed to arrest Twomad. The authorities always argued it was a different police department's job. This is the definition of weaponized ignorance and incompetence. The instances provided through this document are just a few examples. There were countless instances that were way worse. The Superior Court had authority over the LAPD, so the court ordered the instruction to arrest Twomad upon violating the orders. The court had no real way to know the LAPD is not enforcing the order that was given to them. The proper formal legal way to address this is to file contempt paperwork, which in simple terms just means you're notifying the court the order is being maliciously disobeyed and needs to be enforced. It requires a lot of paperwork. It's not taken lightly. The court also has to verify all the information before they schedule any hearing. The contempt hearing was primarily focused on Twomad committing multiple felonies, not only by endangering people's lives in person, but also Twomad trying to dispose of his illegal firearms that he owns and was ordered by the Supreme Court to surrender legally. This says, you are ordered to appear in this court as follows: to give any legal reason why this court should not find you guilty of contempt, punish you for willfully disobeying its orders as set forth in the affidavit below, and any attached affidavit of facts constituting contempt, and require you to pay for the benefit of the moving party the attorney fees and the cost of the proceeding. Is this the contempt court that was this is the contempt order that was filed against Twomad that we saw, right? That was following our live stream, right? I assume is what they're talking about here.
Well, okay, wait.
But they're trying to hold the LAPD in contempt, no?
Right. So I know that there was another, yes, there was a hearing in October over him breaking the restraining order, right?
Yeah.
So it's weird because the case got delayed.
Can you hold the
December.
cops in contempt for not arresting someone fast enough? Because I don't think you can. I'm a little confused.
I doubt it.
I'm a little confused by. Is there any evidence that this was filed or anything, or I just don't understand. I'll make it very clear for the last time the investigation into his possession of illegal firearms was conducted by professionals in real life. The existence of real firearms has been proven many times, and the authorities are just trying to figure out where they came from. Twomad tried to dispose of them, and it made investigations significantly more complicated. Most criminal investigations in legal matters take years. For example, the legal process caused by the McSkillet tragedy was only concluded after 5. Now imagine how complicated it is when the end goal from the law's perspective is to destroy the supply and not the customer, because you will only solve one problem and not be the source of many. I think it goes without saying that it's obvious that if there is somebody out there who can supply firearms to psychopaths like Twomad without actually being noticed by authorities, there's a huge source of problems. That's why the investigation into Twomad's firearms was so extensive, and the main reason why nobody was allowed to talk about it. So here we have this guy, customer 1, Twomad, customer 2, and customer 3.
Why did he feel the need to make this?
Jesus, dude, I feel like I'm in special ed class again. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, so yeah, basically he's just saying that because the investigation into his firearms took long because apparently the cops were trying to figure out who the supplier was so they could stop the supplier. I guess so. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's public knowledge that Twomad was fascinated with doing illegal activities to see what he could get away with. It was an actual addiction, and it had only gotten worse over the years, resulting in many victims who are real people. Who are they? Unfortunately, some fans kept looking for excuses of his actions, mainly by blaming others, who are often the real victims of Twomad. Their reasoning is just parroting what Twomad said. They claim their information is facts, and in reality, it's just opinions presented as facts. Well, the problem is, Jameskii, I need some facts here, bro. Come on. Help me help you.
Right, but this part's kind of not necessary. Well, I get why he's saying it, but the thing is like, like what Twomad's fans are doing is like kind of, not really that correlated to Twomad, if that makes sense, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's like this isn't about the case or whatever, right?
Yeah. So instead of taking this all with a grain of salt, I mean, the thing is, like, okay, what can we say we know for sure Twomad did? We know he was obsessed with this girl. We know he harassed her relentlessly. Maybe you could call that stalking. I could see that. We know that there was some kind of weird interaction that took place in which he thinks is not assault, but it definitely was pressuring and bad and not okay. She thinks it was assault. We know that he wanted to kill multiple people and express his intent. And we know that he was a mentally ill drug addict who didn't trust his own intentions to the point he thought he might kill people or commit some kind of violent crime. We know that.
Right.
Like,
and at this point,
that much we know.
Can we say at this point that he also had guns in his house? Like,
we can say that he said he had guns in his house multiple times.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I've seen a lot of people bring doubt on that, but it's like in the interview he confirms that he, at least at one time had real guns in his house. Anyway,
someone said so he didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. That's what we're saying, dude. Good point.
That's the TLDR.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that people may speculate and make wrong assumptions based on the limited amount of information compared to what the authorities had, not all of which is disclosed in the public records, as it is a completely separate matter that the DA was preparing on their own. The contempt was only focused on the LAPD not doing their job of enforcing the order. The reasons why the police departments would not enforce the order varied from incompetence to actual confidential investigations. But even with the investigations, it was necessary to enforce the order to confiscate his guns to protect everyone involved, as his psychotic behavior progressively became extremely unhinged throughout the year and put people's lives at risk, Twomad included. Okay. The court reviewed everything related to the contempt hearing paperwork, confirming it was valid. The court scheduled a completely separate hearing from the restraining order case, but 3 weeks from the day it was approved. The first date is the hearing for the contempt case. The second date is the rescheduled hearing for the permanent restraining order. Twomad's lawyer agreed in writing that he'll provide the service to Twomad regarding the contempt hearing, saving us thousands of dollars. Since Twomad was already caught hiding away from the authorities as he knew about the severity of the implications and how much trouble he was actually in, to him it was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when he would be arrested. This also makes you wonder why the defense scheduled a remote appearance for that hearing. Remote appearance scheduled, filed by respondent. Their criminal matter hearing turned into a circus. The defense had the audacity to claim that Twomad was unaware of this hearing, despite Twomad's lawyer accepting the service and the defense scheduling their actual appearance. The most unexpected part is that not only Twomad's lawyer showed up, but also Twomad himself via phone call, as in Twomad called the court. When Twomad's lawyer realized that he was here and wanted to talk, he implied continuously that Twomad should just shut up and plead the fifth. He even explicitly advised him in front of everyone not to answer any questions. At one point, his lawyer had to intervene directly to stop Twomad from talking, telling the court that they shouldn't ask him any questions because he lacks competency. I can 1000% see this happening, by the way. Because that's what he would have done if he knew that he was on our live stream, right? I assume.
Yeah, yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, 100%. I mean, bro, like, yes, there's just zero shot. Like, the lawyer would not approve of this client saying a word. This guy is not at all capable of representing himself, bro.
Yeah. All right. The judge ordered the paperwork be provided regarding Twomad's lawyer accepting the service and rescheduled the contempt hearing to the same day as the permanent order hearing, which was supposed to take place in a few days. From my personal understanding, the reason that Twomad's lawyer indicated he wanted to be out. Legally, Twomad is entitled to have a lawyer, so the court provided the continuance to find him new counsel. A defendant, The continuance was scheduled for the same date as the permanent order hearing, most likely because it would be more accessible for everybody involved to have everything done in just one day, assuming the hearing takes place and doesn't get another continuance. On the final hearing day, Twomad's lawyer addressed the situation with Twomad to the judge, acknowledging that he wanted nothing to do with him and left, as in Twomad's lawyer literally walked out, leaving Twomad by himself.
Yeah, I believe that. I totally believe that, bro.
He was just like, I'm not representing this guy.
That's
and then
funny,
Twomad said respondent/pro per, so he was going to represent himself in court.
Yeah, this is, by the way, we got kind of informed about this from the legal. I don't know exactly, but like the guy who's learning to be a lawyer or whatever that you got me in contact with.
Yeah.
Twomad was trying to represent himself, and so I guess this is Jameskii claiming like that wasn't his original plan or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
the lawyer was just like, you're twacked, like, f off.
Yeah.
Which is like fair enough, I guess.
For real. The issue now is that due to the circumstances and how the legal system works, Twomad was entitled to a new lawyer and able to get another continuance to drag out the case even more. We retracted the criminal contempt hearing from the same day so we could do it another time and proceeded with the civil one that day. We already knew Twomad was going to be arrested regardless. The government was already preparing everything necessary for the prosecution. The criminal investigation had nothing to do with the civil case, and criminal contempt related to violating the civil order. The amount of financial damages Twomad caused already exceeded 6 figures, and his deliberate malicious actions put me in debt and forced me to live paycheck to paycheck. We couldn't drag this out any longer. Okay, our decision to proceed with a contempt hearing on a different date doesn't nullify everything else. The pending felonies remain separate. Since we chose to proceed with criminal contempt on a different date, we could finally proceed with a civil hearing that day without any additional continuance. The clerk, do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the matter now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Twomad says yes. Would you state your full name? Twomad swore under oath. You can't just put Medea Sadiq. I don't understand.
Wait, no, the petitioner is the petitioner Twomad?
Oh no, sorry. The petitioner. He's the respondent. Yeah. My bad.
Right.
The respondent. My first name is Medea Sadiq.
Nah.
He said my first name is Medea Sadiq. Muudeasedik. Thank you, Mr. Sadiq. My first name is Medea Sadiq. Okay. The victim testified to the court and addressed assaults, including but not limited to coercion via intimidation. In the testimony, mentions of brandishing firearms, violent threats toward herself and witnesses, as well as targeted threats toward her family involving Twomad sending obscure packages to her family's home were brought up. Twomad's history of swatting was introduced, and the definition of swatting and doxing was provided.
Okay, wait. Twomad's history of swatting.
Well, swatting, doxing, sending packages to her house. But the problem is, like, this would be such an insane thing to lie about, like to like fabricate a court date taking place in which someone testifies against Twomad and says that he was like this evil person. But I don't know that it happened, so that's the problem, right? That's my biggest problem. Like, to be honest with you, I don't even think that Jameskii lied, but I don't know that I can agree with him necessarily publicly unless I know this. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. By the way, did Jameskii also mention that Jameskii went into debt to finance this, or was it?
He said he went into debt. Yes, Jameskii said he went into debt. Was living paycheck to paycheck. Twomad did not go into debt.
Do you believe that?
That Jameskii went into debt?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy if true.
Yeah, it is.
Because Jameskii's not a small fry. Like.
Yeah, let's see his channel. Let's see how he's doing. 2 million subscribers. Doesn't upload very much, I'll say that. Total channel views 500 million. Let's see here. Where did his money go?
Well, I guess into this is the implication, right?
Was it hundreds of thousands of dollars?
That's what I'm unsure about.
I guess the peak of his views was like 4 or 5 years ago when ad rates were lower, but yeah, I don't know. In fairness, if you're posting one 14-minute video a month and you're getting a few 100,000 views, I mean, you're not going to make that much money, right? In the modern age, I could agree with him there. He's not rolling in it exactly. He's not broke, but he's not rolling in it, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think, oh man. I mean, look, either way, like, he definitely took on a financial burden for this.
Like, actually out of money. And then I got a call from my accountant. Oh my.
He just said,
how did I just stumble across this clip?
That's insanity. I can't believe that.
So then I made this. This is about 3 times the size of the exhaust tip. But then I thought to myself, why stop there? So I made this. But then I thought to myself, why stop there? Because I'm out of money. I'm like actually out of money. And then I got a call from my accountant. Oh my god, this thing is massive. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually very intimidating.
That's actually insanely weird that you just stumbled on him saying that. Maybe he says this like 16 times in every video.
Yeah, I don't know. If he does, maybe it's real. That's funny. I just randomly clicked on that clip.
Yeah.
Fish Eggs says the I just took was violating in body and soul. Should I sue for emotional damages? Yeah, you should sue the Taco Bell you to say that. Paste. Okay. Well, Twomad attempted to make the same false claims he made online against the victim in court, which were immediately shut down by the judge. He had to be reminded he was under oath, and afterwards he did not deny any of the claims brought against him. He provided no evidence to the court to refute her claims, despite having months to do so, as he realized the investigation already knew what was happening. The investigation and legal always knew that Twomad's evidence that included messages, photos, and audio were fake. There was a stack of paper thicker than a book that would describe how and what kind of artificial evidence he had created, including him creating fake chains of text messages, conversations with his victims. Here we have this message from Barack Obama. Is this the fake message? Saying, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from right now. That's fine. But I want to say I'm really sorry for how I treated you. I really am. I wasn't on a deck. You didn't deserve it. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to do that to you. It was. Were they messaged by Obama? I don't understand. Is this actually Twomad? I'm pretty sure
he actually got messaged by Obama.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I know I'm the last person you want to hear from right now.
Why is this the image being used? Like, why is this the image being used here?
Great question. Honestly,
like this is the funniest thing you could have possibly put.
Man, I know. I could imagine, on a level, I could imagine that preparing this document was like hell for this guy, because it's like this case is horrendously confusing and all this. But like, why is this here, man? Like, it's just like, was he laughing when he put this in, or was he thinking like, oh, this is proof of something?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Wouldn't it have just been like Twomad changed his image and his username for like a second? You know what I mean? Like this
on Instagram, I don't think you can do that if you're verified, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. That might be maybe that's what that means then.
Can we just have this thing saying CUDA face model files extracted to folder /models/Jameskii model? Note, alt account Twomad made with an edited apology from Obama after he was blocked to get the victim's attention.
Interesting.
Alt account edited apology from Obama. Dude. Twomad was never discreet about creating artificial evidence to obfuscate the truth. Guys, I'm going to make up a bunch of extra because if I'm just honest about what happened, people might take it seriously. So I'm going to ramp up the severity to 100 because I'm smart like astronaut. And here he is changing his profile pictures of the victim's photo. That's real. President Joe Biden in chat says that's a real picture. Thank you, Joe, for confirming. The investigation was fully aware that the evidence Twomad would showcase on Twitter was always fake. Bro and the Jameskii AI voice I commissioned and will pretend is my Batman earpiece in vlogs. Imagine I'm in Best Buy, put my finger in my ear to call my lawyer because I slept on a laptop carrying case. And Jameskii voice goes, Twomad, we have potential to litigate here for XYZ. This is getting increasingly schizophrenic and hard to follow.
Yep. Yeah.
At this point, the judge asked Twomad for his defense, and he read a statement written by ChatGPT that the judge instantly shot down. Twomad was caught lying via objection and was reminded he was under oath. After this, he didn't fight the claim, so he wouldn't dig a deeper grave. Counsel, Your Honor, I think we should remind Mr. Sadiq that he is under oath today. The court, I think he's aware of that, counsel. Do you have any comment on the rest of the exhibits that you know, name redacted, attached to a petition? You know, the email, the text message shots, some are maybe not the most tasteful comments, sir. The respondent. So Twomad said, yeah, I don't really have anything to say. He definitely would say that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The court. All right. Is there anything else, Mr. Sadiq, that you want to tell the court? No. And the court says, all right. The court equals judge, respondent equals Twomad.
That moment when you're online idiocy is just like you actually are confronted in reality. It's like, oh,
you're in a real courtroom.
Yeah, it's like I ain't got nothing to say, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Twomad was not harmless. He wanted his victims, including himself, to be dead. During his hearing, Twomad fully realized the government knew everything for a long time and not just the supporting evidence for the restraining order. For the civil case, the burden of proof had been met, and the order was made permanent to protect the victim from Twomad's violent retaliation towards his victim for tipping off the authorities. He was going to be arrested by the government completely separate from that civil hearing. You must not do the following things to the protected person. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We know. Twomad has repeatedly admitted to the essay in public via social media and live streams. Here we have September 23, Turkey Tom, September 2023, Sneeko. Here we have him on my stream. Our stream. Hey, Twomad, quick question. When you tried to give...
No, this was later. It's just you.
Oh, yeah, this is different. This is different.
Yeah, this was about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks later.
That's
on your stream.
Yeah, that's this... this one, yeah. This...
Yeah. Yeah.
Ease her into finally giving you coochie? That's for 5 from Pull Bun.
I think so. Yeah, I feel like that's obvious though. Right? Like I don't usually I've never done that before. But that's kind of why you do drugs. Like I remember when I was like 14, I was like a girl rejected me and I was like I should smoke weed.
Man, it's crazy how coherent he sounded that day, and he's just still saying shit like that.
To be clear, what he's saying, what someone asked is, did you use drugs to pressure her for sex? He's like, yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, he basically says it as like, obviously, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, of course, bro. Like, isn't that what everyone does? You know what I mean?
Someone said, how was that essay? Dude. Okay,
Shit,
if you're intentionally getting someone intoxicated with the purpose of them, once their boundaries are broken down, I mean.
Yeah, this is...
What else do you call that?
Yeah, bro. If you spike the jungle juice and then you serve it to the lady you're trying to smash, and then you smash, like, that's absolutely not okay.
Here's Twomad saying this is Sneeko, apparently he was talking to.
Yeah, I've seen this.
I didn't even know this happened.
I'm not saying you're guilty or not. I haven't looked into your case. I'm gonna look into your case after I'm done with this Bryant case.
I did it. I'd do it again.
You know, bro, but you know you can't, bro. They're gonna use this in court.
I can. I know they can use it. Y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad, dog. You know, well, I'm paying my lawyer top dollar to explain it to them. That's just humor and funny. It's joke.
How did it feel to do a photo shoot with Bella Delphine?
I threw her off the bed. I was very uncomfortable.
Okay, so I guess the two explanations you could have is either he told the truth and then he lied after saying he was joking, or he lied when he was joking and then after he told the truth. So...
Yeah, I mean, as a general rule, you just can't. It's tough to trust his word, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't bode well for him.
Here he says, "Yes, you refuse to have sex with me."
Wait.
What's up?
Sorry. There's one thing I want to say, just because it might be just semi-interesting, but like
Yeah.
Twomad really looked up to Sneeko, bro. There's a point where Twomad was kind of talking about Sneeko a lot. One sec, and he like viewed him almost like as a bigger brother. It seemed like. Let me just see. Wait up. So one sec. Yeah. Okay. My bad. I just have what I have right now.
Claire in chat says, sometimes when I look at Sneeko's face, I can see his thoughts spinning. Sorry, I just thought that was funny.
That is funny. That's facts too. Yeah,
you
but
have a
here,
clip?
what up? No, one sec. I just remember that basically he was like really happy to be on Sneeko's stream. So like when you saw him, he was like so energetic or whatever there. He was like clearly trying to impress Sneeko, and it just didn't work, and it kind of flopped. But yeah, when Sneeko unfollowed him or whatever, because I think even Sneeko realized like this guy's a self-destructive idiot. Twomad seemed like he was actually bothered by that, because I think in my mind, Twomad was like, he wanted Sneeko's lifestyle, you know what I mean? Because Sneeko, like, he's canceled and all this, but like he's still, according to people, what he posts, like it looks like he still gets women, you know what I mean? He's like still cool or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not a drug addict, right? And so yeah, I think
Twomad wanted this like uncancelable, responsibility-free lifestyle.
Yeah.
And he wanted to play bad, which Sneeko had.
Yeah, exactly. Sneeko, if anything, he was like the Chad version of what Twomad wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Well, like Kanklemore just sent me a crazy DM. Let me look for this. Kanklemore.
Oh, sorry, chat. Yeah, you're good.
Twomad. He said he'll send the clip. I'm gonna see if I can find this in this transcript, please. Yes. Okay. The recording. Okay, here we go. Here's this clip. We're gonna check this out. He recommended this to me.
Self-destructive thing. It's like, even in the recording where I was like, that girl, it's like you can tell this got his head on straight.
Tom, are you there?
Yeah.
I almost my reality just disconnected for a second there. I was like, what? The way that he. To give him the most gracious, to give him the most gracious interpretation, this happened multiple times in our interview, where he would say he would say it as if it's like air quoting, but he would say it so casually that it sounds horrendous, like where it's like, you know what I mean, when he would basically be like, so I'm or whatever, but like he's not clarifying like when I'm allegedly, you know what I mean.
I mean, that could be the case, but it's just like, how many concessions do I need to give this guy that I wouldn't give anyone else,
No, absolutely, bro. I completely know what you're saying. Like, bro, this is horrendous. Like, this is crazy. Let's do that again.
You cut out a little bit at the end there.
I'll rewind a bit so we can get the full context.
Yeah.
The two things I could see is like, for some reason, I think it was some sort of DoorDash. I like DoorDash to myself. And then there was something else. Nothing severe. But it was just like, when did I do that? But, yeah, I don't know. I'm the experimental type. It's not like I don't have any reluctance for my safety.
You cut out a little bit at the end there.
This Twomad self-destructive thing. It's like, even in the recording where I was like, being that girl, it's like you can tell this got his head on straight. Like, yeah, he's doing reprehensible shit. He is sane, which is weird. I don't know.
So what I'm thinking is, I'm not sure what he's referring to, right, in this recording. Is he referring to the conversation we're talking about?
I think he's referring to the recording that he sent us. Unless there's another video that he's referencing from the Jameskii thing, where Jameskii says he recorded girls without their consent.
Right, but I think that he's talking about the conversation that he sent us. I'm imagining.
Yeah,
right,
and that's why he's saying saying reprehensible stuff, because he was talking to us. This reads to me like almost a confession. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. I'm not interpreting it that way, but like,
how are you interpreting
that's
it?
the only reason, just to clarify, like I'm literally not trying to give him just the best case, but it's just that I watched our interview too many times, and there's so many times where he would say, like, where this video where I'm that girl or whatever, he would say it in a way that just made it very obvious. He was like saying like it was basically like allegedly.
He had like
right?
air quotes or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like too demented and too stupid. To,
You're
like,
very
make it
right.
obvious.
This one just doesn't read that way, and I guess there's two ways to interpret it. Like one, he's just not communicating proper tone because he's zoinked off his Xanax or something.
Yeah.
The other one is like he is confessing, but I just don't know which one to take it as completely. But I will say like, it's just like a lot of people in chat are saying like, man, he always does the worst job at making himself look good. He always does the best job at saying things the worst way possible. And so at some point, I feel like eventually I have to just be like, well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I look. I think you're very sane for interpreting it that way. Let's just be clear.
Keiko Moore said, kind of wished I wasn't so blown away and shocked by that at the time and asked him more about it.
I don't blame you, bro. I mean, me and Tom understand the way that like Twomad can just blow your mind with how the weird dumb shit he would say. Okay, look, can we listen to a little bit more?
Look at Keiko Moore's face in the corner, just like in disbelief.
Cocaine is more like where you die, I think, right?
What do you mean?
What a segue.
Like, cocaine has never been like a interesting, and it's been interesting. It's just like I could probably go and get it, but it's like a powder.
Yeah.
So and there's fentanyl in there, and sometimes.
Claire Deluge says, I don't think he understands what he did, and he's bouncing off the public's response to inform what he should say, again with that voice inside with the intrusive thoughts. I mean, it's possible. I just don't see, I mean, I guess the interpretation there is like he's mentally ill, so he just takes what the public says and then it gets infused with his own thoughts. But at some point, it's like he's an unreliable narrator, but also like if he just says he did it, like if he says if he shows us the video he showed us on stream, if he says I definitely got her high for the purpose of trying to fuck her more easily, if in this one he says, oh, the video where I was that girl, like if it's like 10 things, like I just don't know.
No, bro, I know exactly what you're saying. Like and look,
it could be a joke. It could be like I'm not saying that's impossible, but like I don't know. Like when I hear that, it's just like.
Yeah, bro. I mean, trust me, you're not alone, man. It's like, bro, the guy is defensible borderline. Like it's extremely like because it's like to defend him, you would need to give him the absolute most charitable human possible, and he kind of does. It seems like he kind of does not even give any effort to let people interpret his charitably. You know what I mean?
So it says Tom, you should watch the TBH podcast episode about Twomad. They have a lot of new info. Have you listened to that? I haven't checked that out.
I did. Yeah.
Did it have new info or?
Yeah, some stuff like behind the scenes stuff. They were kind of revealing. To me, it was nothing too crazy, but it was basically like Nerd, Colossal, all of them just pretty much agreeing. Like Twomad was a narcissist. He was, a detriment to pretty much everyone he interacted with. Twomad. Colossal. You might be aware of this, but like Colossal and Nerd. We're trying to help Twomad like formulate his response video. You know what I mean? Because that was his big, that was his big request, right? So Twomad joined. He started a group chat with like a bunch of, I guess you could say famous.
Weren't
YouTubers,
you in there? I was in there for a bit. Weren't you in there?
I wasn't, but I was made aware. Let's just say that much. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I was not in it though. But
J-Reg was in there, which was funny. Of all people.
Yeah, J-Reg was telling me about it. Yeah, but basically, he started this group chat, and the whole intention, it was so odd, but the whole intention was to convince these massive YouTubers all together to publicly defend him, right? To make videos in support of him, to help him formulate his case, to help him pay for his lawsuit, right? Which you're still calling a lawsuit. And so basically Nerd and Colossal, they were just saying in the podcast, like, they started trying to like help him out and like give him some coherence, gave him the benefit of the doubt. But then every time that they would reach out to Twomad and like ask him like what was going on here exactly, Twomad would just say the most response possible, and it got to the point where Nerd and Colossal were just like, bro, we can't in good conscience even try and help you here. You know what I mean? Because yeah, like this, I'm pretty sure that the second Nerd and Colossal figured out that Twomad was very unapologetic, number one, but also owned the fact and like just didn't give a in admitting that he stalked the woman, right? Like that he stalked and harassed her, right? Right away, like Nerd and Colossal were just like, "What the dude?" Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Because in Twomad's mind, it's just like all I need to clear my name on is the right. It's like just the but like to Nerd and Colossal, it's like Twomad is like almost gleefully saying like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I stalked her and harassed her, but I didn't rape her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, do you really want to defend that guy? You know what I mean? Do you really want to stake your time first of all, but like also your reputation? And so basically, to be honest, I was surprised listening to the podcast because they are kind of, I guess you could say, disparaging Twomad or whatever. The majority of it, they have a small segment saying some good things about him, about how he was very funny and like an interesting guy 3 years ago. But basically, they just said like this guy was a malignant narcissist and was abusing drugs. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just more depressing.
Here he says, yes, you refused to have sex with me for months, and I touched her inappropriately and demanded sex. Yes, I did those things. It's not criminal coercion law. I'm not her boss or a coworker or teacher. If you're just a guy, then you can be like SMD or get the fuck out. So they don't imprison you for that as normal. I only rapped her once. Deleted. Dude, I was well aware of the consequences in private for years. Okay. This is the last effort I'm going to make for you, dude. You assaulted somebody. I covered for you and wrote your apology in exchange for you saying you'll get therapy.
Yeah.
And then you flat out told me that was a lie after she forgave you. You're displaying insane mental illness and you need to seek psychotherapy. I can't make this any clearer to you. If this goes any further, it's going to ruin your whole life. Nope, this is the message in the screenshot to the person to the left sent to Twomad from Twomad's best friend at the time, January 25th, 2022.
Yeah, so that's the guy that is apparently, you know, Twomad was calling
said as a
pedophile.
groomer, right?
Yeah, whatever. And so I'm pretty confident that that was also one of the guys that, you know, was there, that showed up when Goldie Bell apparently evacuated, right? Like we saw that picture that we'd never seen before. If you get what I'm saying. And so this guy basically went from Twomad's friend to, you know, witnessing that and like the fallout of that to being like, bro, like what the and he was the guy again that like wrote out the apology for Twomad to say, obviously, as like he's saying there. And so it's funny because this is actually, like, obviously I don't know anything about the pedophilia, but this just does seem like a guy that's just being honest with him as like a friend. Like, bro, you're being a twacked weirdo. Like,
TBG,
you know
by the way, if you want to call in, can you just put your Discord ID in chat and we can have a little chat if you want to.
Oh, Furple World. Yeah, that's okay. That is weird.
Furple World didn't message me though.
No, I know. Yeah, it's so weird that it's Honeybee. Yeah, that's why I was confused when you sent. Okay, sorry. Anyway, yeah, Furple World is a guy that I would love to talk to because he actually was apparently talking to Twomad and like friendly with Twomad toward the end, right?
Yes. How about I just all of you for ever making me feel threatened for my career? If these people want their stories private, the thing is like, I don't know how serious it is given the limited evidence. I don't know how real the allegations are, so I don't know if I should have this person reveal these people's identities live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, so okay, basically like they just sent me the username of the friend of Twomad, right? Just for me to us or me or whatever to reach out to him after stream. You know what I mean? I don't know, whatever. We'll see later.
We'll talk to them later. I've been protecting victims of online predators for a very long time. We successfully brought consequences for every single one of them so far because it was handled accordingly. All right. Unfortunately, this instance was publicized in a very misleading way by Twomad and his fans on purpose. It's difficult to follow because the law is complicated and it wasn't just limited to California. It involved multiple countries, states, and jurisdictions. This is not the court of public opinion. This is a real legal criminal matter. There were real victims and it made addressing a lot of stuff to the public complicated. It's important to cover that as public knowledge that Twomad had repeatedly expressed predatory behavior towards children, and the full severity of it can't be addressed for obvious reasons to protect the vulnerable. I've seen these DMs before, I think, but I interpreted them as jokes, basically, because they were, I think, technically sent to adults. Oh, you're in LA. Let me essay you with a minor. Can you moan like a little girl for me on mic? He passed away before the DA was able to prosecute him. That's why it's not on his criminal record. So please do not speculate about the identities of victims, as I've seen a large amount of wrong assumptions that have caused a lot of harm. So I guess they're basically saying that Misty girl is not the one people are talking about.
Okay.
Good night, Brandon. Brandon, can you send me screenshots of the flight you got on DM? Putting everything together required immense work from many departments in numerous jurisdictions. It would only take one department or officer to mess something up, thus slowing down the entire process. Simplified illustration. Police. Doesn't go to the court. We have everything we need, but we just need Gray to confirm the number to make sure there's no duplicate. To give you an example of one particular instance, the criminal case of a series of assaults was slowed down by over half a year because a specific police department forgot to forward one case number to a different department, which needed it to pass the complete case to the DA. That police department in question would never return calls. It wouldn't be able to cooperate with other departments in various jurisdictions either, which made the DA unable to proceed with anything else until they got that one case number. They just need to confirm the existence of that case number, which wasn't appearing in their system. Once again, the police department that was supposed to give it to them forgot to do so or was simply lazy. There was also an instance where the detective wouldn't click on the correct link that had necessary information that needed to be forwarded to DA, thus stalling one of the criminal cases for another 2 months until they were questioned if they did everything right. I understand that many people who pay close attention to the situation may have realized it, but I figure they'll say it directly. I did not celebrate his death. I feel relief knowing that he didn't end up taking the lives of innocent people, but this wasn't the proper closure. It's quite the opposite. It was primarily known behind the scenes and not publicly, but we saved his life multiple times, and we actually managed to prevent a tragedy on numerous occasions. But unfortunately, the very last time we were too late. It goes without saying that LAPD was fully aware of Twomad's situation and didn't do enough of what was in their power. Twomad did not become an evil person just because of drugs, and the amount of damage he's done to his victims, both physically and mentally, cannot be undone. The drugs made things worse, but they're not the main cause of the problem. He's done a lot of terrible things way before he got reckless with hard drugs. The drugs only made him more reckless and fearless, so please don't use drugs as a blanket excuse for all of his actions, but acknowledge the issue as is. Please do not be mad at those expressing genuine thoughts on the matter. A lot of his real-life ex-friends tried to help him or cared about his well-being. However, recognize when someone is actually just milking the situation and purposefully misportraying the whole story to gain something out of it. I don't know how Twomad managed to maliciously condition his fans to unquestioningly believe everything he says, even if the facts are right before them, but it's always been the same exact pattern, except now the implications are much more severe than ever. Twomad wasn't just being edgy. He repeatedly hurt people physically and weaponized fans' ignorance to save himself from consequences. He purposely hurt his victims to gain something out of it and then hurt them further to suppress them. The biggest reason many of the situations weren't brought to the public at the time was because it was a severe and complicated matter that put people's lives at risk. It wasn't some petty drama, and Twomad being awful was never a secret. We've been working with police for a long time now, and everything the public needs to know in the eyes of the law has been publicly available. It takes little to no time to research, and anyone can look up keywords on Twomad's Twitter or watch his live streams to see what's going on as he was being read as an open book. It was not a character.
That's facts. That's facts, bro. Yeah, he was not playing a character at all, man.
Yeah, he was. He was a person, but the problem here is like I honestly think Jameskii thinks this, and I don't know that he's lying, but I don't have evidence of it either.
Right. Yeah. Like specifically, obviously, like okay, we're pretty much accepting now. Like he's not providing proof for. He's still kind of claiming it's a thing, right? But
he's saying because the victims don't want their identities public, he can't release it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I don't know Jameskii, so am I to trust that?
Yeah. The LAPD thing as well. I don't know. Like he's giving us, diagrams, but he's not really showing us any, I guess, proof of that, whatever. I believe him, to be honest. I believe him. Like, why would he even include that if it wasn't true? Like, it wasn't even that useful information or whatever. But, what I'm more interested in is gaining context into the scenarios where he claims that he saved Twomad's life, right, or prevented tragedy, right? Like, what is the context of that, right?
Yeah, they're saying he's saying he prevented a mass shooting like 4 times, basically, right?
Right, but he's also saying that he intervened to save Twomad's life in the past, which is confusing to me. Because it's like, what does that mean? You just called the cops on him and then they went to do a wellness check? Like, what is that?
I highly respect people who have done their independent research, acknowledged the situation without dragging the victims' names into it, and called out certain people for trying to sway public opinion by purposely omitting facts or making up to make fabricated buzz news at the expense of Twomad and his victims. This is the Henry Resilient thing. Okay. Those are real victims with real lives and families. Some of those clowns are dragging through dirt. I'm concerned that most people are now conditioned to think everything is just online drama. In reality, some situations are incredibly dire and must be handled accordingly. Lastly, I respect people who realize they may have accidentally misrepresented facts and acknowledge they are wrong. Doesn't matter if it's small details or massive facts. This is a proper way to think and respond. Anything related to Twomad, past, present, and future will be limited to this Google Doc, as I don't believe that my channel is the right place for this kind of stuff. I kindly ask people to respect that and leave the victims alone. Don't bring up any names or photos, and don't speculate about their identities. Be responsible. Thank you.
Okay. So, I mean,
to be honest, I kind of believe him, but I just don't know. I don't know. You know, that's the thing.
I completely, to be honest, I completely believe him. Yeah. Like, look, here's the big thing. Like, at the very least, I believe that he believes himself. Like, because again, he did weirdly go out of his way, and to, you know, in theory, do like the heroic thing, right? By like funding Isabella's or Goldie Bell's lawsuit, right? So it's like, yeah, I mean, you could obviously say like, oh, he has the resentment from like a past drama, but in reality, he probably just actually thought that Twomad was, you know, dangerous, right? And he was like trying to do the right thing or whatever. But yeah, man, Jameskii, I mean, yeah, this document obviously like pretty underwhelming because it's like, okay, the big shit that people are like calling you out for, you're not actually giving us any real, you know, like anything really substantive, you know? You're basically just saying, trust me, bro, you know? And I want to trust him, but like, yeah, okay, if we're gonna literally label Twomad a pedophile,
I believe that Jameskii genuinely believes that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't like. I'm kind of against actually like hardcore on Jameskii. You know what I mean? Because it's like clearly this guy, like he's suffered for this, like in a real way. Even if it's a lot of it might have been, you know, his imagination. Which honestly, I wouldn't say. Like a lot of this does seem like, you know, like Twomad. I mean, yeah. Let's be honest. Like if Twomad did go to TwitchCon, right? Like obviously he would be fucking with people, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. What's your vibe?
I think that what this doc did definitively for me, especially at the beginning with the clips we saw with Twomad expressing somewhat murderous intent and saying he doesn't know if he's saying he doesn't saying he doesn't know if he can trust his own intentions and he might go McSkillet mode. That showed me that Twomad is it confirmed to me that he was an unhinged, schizophrenic, drug addict, narcissist. That is true. Is Twomad a pedophile? I have no evidence to suggest that. I understand that if Jameskii is telling the truth, that he doesn't want to reveal the victims' identities to protect them. But at the same time, for me to believe that he's a pedophile, I need dead to rights proof, and I'm not going to believe that until I get it. I think Jameskii, at the very least, thinks he's telling the truth. I think he thinks he's being truthful. I just need more. That's my thing, really.
Yeah.
I need more to know that he is definitely that. So,
yeah,
like, am I going to defend Twomad? Maybe against the pedophilia accusation until I see that definitively. Yes, I would say that. Beyond that, I would not defend Twomad because he was a bad person. So yeah.
If
someone says there's a way for evidence without revealing names, yes, I would absolutely agree, and that is what I would like to see. But it seems like he's never going to reveal that. So, like, anything past this point is up to public interpretation, honestly. Yeah, and I think the people who want to defend Twomad are going to heavily use this to defend him. Heavily.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't want to defend him. Someone says he's definitely lying. I don't know that. I just don't know that, to be honest. I honestly don't think Jameskii thinks that he's lying. I don't think that. But I also don't know that he's telling the truth is the problem for me, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, whatever, you know. Why would Jameskii lie? Why would Jameskii lie? Like, let's think more about that. Like, why would he, just to basically like make Twomad, you know, his memory and everything disgraced and like completely.
The thing is, like, he has to know that based on this document, people are gonna call him a liar and a piece of shit, right? He has to know that.
I think so, but I'm not sure.
Which is not to his benefit.
It's tough for me because, bro, you and I, like, honestly, being a commentator who, tries to take this seriously when we're technically actual amateurs, but we try, right? So we actually do kind of view things in a more lawyeristic way, or like a more critical way than like the vast majority of normal people, I feel like. So it's hard for me to put myself in another person's shoes, because yeah, bro, of course I would have done this document completely differently. I would have put as many receipts as humanly possible for everything. You know what I mean?
But his intention for not almost makes sense, even though I definitely think he should have it in here.
Yeah. I just sent you a part of the initial statement that Isabella made, okay, about Twomad.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, of value, because this is Isabella saying, if you look in the second, read the second paragraph if you can, that I just sent.
I actually have this in my script for Twomad. I met Respondent online in October 2021, shortly after I turned 18 years old. This is from the public civil case we have, by the way, guys, just to clarify, this is accessible to anyone. Respondent is a famous YouTube video creator with millions of subs and hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter and other social media. On or around November 21st, 2021, Respondent invited me over to his house to spend time together. When I arrived at his door, he immediately asked me for my ID to verify that I was 18 years old. He then asked me to give my phone, which I did. He then deleted our prior text message conversations, my phone, and told me to leave. I felt very uncomfortable and left after 10 minutes. In December 2021, he manipulated me into coming back to his house to visit. He ensured me he would not make any advances towards me, and that he simply wanted to apologize to me. He gave me marijuana, and I became intoxicated. As we were watching a YouTube video together, he demanded that I give him oral. I was in shock and refused him over and over again. At that point, he placed himself between me and the door and began to get enraged. I knew he had guns in the house and was not going to let me leave, because I was scared of what he would do to me if I continued to refuse his advances. I performed oral on him against my will. I was too intoxicated to drive home. His manipulation continued over the next several weeks, and he exerted control over me. I repeatedly told him I was not consenting. In an attempt to lure me back to his house, he sent me a photograph of a...
Yeah, so sorry. The main thing that I wanted to highlight there.
Nick said, do you remember when Jameskii made a twit longer when Twomad refused to go bowling? I do remember that. That was crazy.
Really?
That was years ago. That was their old drama, yeah, if you remember that.
Yeah,
Jameskii
but this
looked like a schizo in that.
No, exactly. So that's the thing. Like, I do think Jameskii's kind of a schizo, and like I was saying, I think they're like the most polar opposite, horrendous combination, where it's like Jameskii takes everything way too seriously, and then Twomad nothing. But the thing that I wanted to point out here is, like, okay, when like Isabella herself was saying that Twomad checked her ID to make sure she was 18. Now, obviously, again, the natural rebuttal or whatever would be that was in 2021, late 2021. Over the course of 2.5 years, Twomad could have gotten desperate enough that he would with 16-year-old or 30, whatever it was, or that he could solicit an underage person online or whatever. But yeah, we literally have no proof, like zero proof, right?
Can you explain the difference, Tom, between what Jameskii has done? I mean, the difference here is that Jameskii has all of these like ancillary details and like this crazy story. So it would be like the most insane thing ever of all time if he's lying.
Yeah.
And like, do I acknowledge it's possible he lied? Absolutely, 1000%. And the thing is, like, for me to believe that Twomad is a liar, I need a lot more. But I feel like Jameskii almost has him, but like he just won't post it for some reason. And so I'm just like, would I call them a liar? Not necessarily. I might, but I just feel like I need more. I feel like this is like a mind. Like I feel like I just need more, especially with the Twomad situation, because I know Twomad did horrible things, and I know Twomad's a complete narcissist who basically had like no morality. So that's like part of the problem for me too. Especially with him saying things like, yeah, I definitely pressured her for sex. I got her high. I pressured her for sex on purpose. Like that kind of is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the profile thing kind of bothers me because
it bothers the fuck out of me. As time passes, I get more and more upset. But like, I just need I just feel like I need to. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, the big reason if it bothers me is because it takes the entire situation. It totally distracts from the actual essay that Goldie Bell was talking about, and then now it's like completely distracted by this file thing that we just have nothing to work with on. You know what I mean? Like the original question with Twomad was like, did he assault this girl, right? And yeah, I mean, you could definitely say we have a relatively definitive answer, more or less. You know, obviously the extent to of the like savagery of it or whatever, we don't. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I wish he just wouldn't have said it. Like if he could just not have said it, and then when finally it gets resolved or the victim's willing to come forward.
Verbal.
Then,
By the way, I saw your I saw your DM. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't know. I would say that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I don't know. Good aspects of the document, bad aspects. I don't know. I don't know. What else do I say?
Not much. There's not a ton to say, man. I mean, right now I'm just scrolling through the interview that we did, and I was thinking we could maybe listen to what Twomad had to say about the groping incident, right? Because that's like the big kind of incident. But I don't even know if that's necessary for us to look at right now.
Magnus said, "You can't really know. All you can know is James is really likely lying." I just don't know. I almost feel like his explanation for not showing the evidence makes sense, but at the same time, like, you should be able to just censor the names and post it. Like, you put this much effort into it, why not just include that? You know what I mean? Like, this much effort, why not just show like some DMs? If there's a criminal case and you want us to believe that, why not post that? You know. Part of the reason also I'm not being so confrontational to Jameskii is like, I want him to feel like he has an incentive to actually post this. I want to actually know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get all, you're lying on this because like I don't know if that would make him pressured to post it.
Yeah.
I want to actually get it, and then if I can actually see the evidence, then I can determine like, okay, you're lying or you're telling the truth. You know what I mean? But right now it's just like nebulous, and I feel like nobody's gonna tell. I feel like I'm not gonna get this, so I don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. Not satisfying, that's for sure.
Completely blue-balled.
Yeah.
All right, this is from our stream. Let's take a look.
Of the oral?
So I think it all happened. Did it happen? I think so.
Okay.
It's hard to know.
Sorry, when you said you were trying to get a graft of her body, what do you mean by that?
Grasp, like a grasp. Like get on her.
Grasp?
Feeler body.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was a hug, really, like, it was. It's just like, she says, I tried to tackle her. That's what it says in the TRO. So this is two very different types of, like, words. I call it, like, a backwards hug. She calls it a try to tackle. I remember pretty clearly, she was standing there. I remember her just, like, kind of standing there. And then I'm like, I come up, like, behind her. I'm like,
because I am doing a Daniel Larson update.
It just occurs in my head, like, oh, man, I want to touch her. You know, like, I just had, like, a moment of, like, horny. It just snaps in my head, right? And then I'm like, and I tell her,
a moment of what, sorry? You have a moment of what?
You said horny.
Horny.
Yeah. Was that why she left? Because you came up from behind her and gave her, like, a quick hug?
No, she was already leaving. It makes it sound like she was, like, running from me. She was already leaving.
Just normally? Or was there, like,
yes, normally.
Thank you,
she
Noah.
was leaving normally. She says I chased her. She was leaving normally. Her shoes on. If there were those big shoes. Okay, she has, like, 2 pairs of shoes. Both of them take some time to put on.
Okay, wait
and
up.
she left right after.
Sorry, was she leaving, like, on bad terms type of thing? Like, would you guys fight again or some shit? Or, like...
I think she sucked my before that, and then she was leaving.
That's what I'm trying to understand, because he's saying the oral happened, then he gave her a hug, and then she, like, pushed him off and then left really quick.
Yeah, but it could have been the oral, could have been the next day. It's possible.
Well, that's what would help you, is to, like, really think about it and get, like, a solid timeline, because all of that is super important.
Even now, I'm still somewhat confused as to
Yeah.
what exactly the timeline is, because, I mean, you don't even seem to know, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she claims everything was right. She said, like, touching her thigh, she said when I gave her that hug, she said everything is just, like, coerced or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there any point when you went to her house?
Nope.
Never?
Yeah, no, she was, like, escaping her place to come to mine, because she had to go to school. That's it. Like, that's her apartment, is to go to school.
Right.
Like, roommates.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Did you know where she lived and Like, did you pick her up or whatever?
She had sent me her address before. She says that I came to her house. This never happened. There was a night. That's another thing that's just going to be like a gaping credibility issues. Like, she says that I showed up unannounced to her house. What had actually happened was she had given me her address or whatever. And I sent her a picture of me in a car with my friends. I guess she interpreted that as like, we're literally at your house right now.
Literally driving.
Okay.
Right.
But my friends would never drive me there.
Right. Do you have the image, like the message that she sent of you that you said she sent of your house at like 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Stalking? You showed up at my house at 3 a.m. I was f***ing sick. I woke up to a picture of my house on my phone.
So to be clear, here he denies that he chased her out of the house. He says she left of her own free will, right?
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, there's another part. But he also says the hug was inspired by a moment of horny, which just like is just the worst thing to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so sorry, there's another part. I'll try and find it, but it's another part where he says something that's just sinister to me. But he says something like, "Okay, I'll find it." But he basically says what he is claiming he said to her in that moment, and it was just like something horny sounding, basically like, "You put this on for me," or something like that. Okay, I'll try and find it. This interview is such a like minefield mentally, bro.
Yeah.
Show us some receipts, Twomad. Come on, show us the picture.
What did she ever give you a reason for that, or was that because you locked her out?
She did that because I sent her my address and I was like, show up.
Oh.
She actually did it.
Oh,
so it's not my house, like a neighboring house, because I didn't want to give her my real address.
So went from driving to Oregon to driving to heaven.
Perhaps.
A bit more. Sorry. Were they yours? This is interesting because this is the guns too. My bad. Okay.
Yeah. Like, the context is like I've already been texting her and it was always just the same, like give me head or I don't give a block you and then I'm blocked or whatever. Like this.
Right.
I guess I don't have any further questions. Do you guys have anything you want to?
I was gonna send the whatever context here.
Oh, here we go. WYA.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's 1 a.m.
There's this for chat to be able to see.
Sorry, that's the gray is her messaging you, right?
Yes.
This is the first time.
Kind of a weird relationship.
Yeah. Wait up. So, sorry. Did you guys even meet?
This is fun. Up to you though.
Did you guys even meet this night?
No.
So this is the night before. Okay, wait. Actually, December was on or around November 21st, 2021. Respondent invited me over to his house to spend time together. So this is the day before November 20th. Is the day that he's showing these DMs. Yeah.
So apparently this is like summoned her. And this is like for the prostitution thing, right? Like according to Twomad, to be clear.
She says here he asked me for my ID to verify I was 18, so he was checking her age there, right?
Yeah. But that's just I only take note of that to like kind of counter the file thing. Like he wasn't actually trying to be a predator on kids or whatever. But the big thing is Twomad. So Jameskii denied the prostitution thing. And so this night, the context of this night would have been, her going over to, get paid basically.
Is that in the DMs though?
No, exactly. So it's not showed in the DMs here, but then later some Discord DMs show up apparently from Twomad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that.
Do you have those Discord ones? Because I remember them, but I don't know if I have them.
I can show them to you. Just give me one second.
I don't know what's wrong with OBS.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's like the fact that like it's like the relationship was pretty static in the sense of like what I wanted. That is part of like how it's not against your will. Because and then also it's like, but I mean she claims there's like guns or whatever. I mean she did suck my after the assault or whatever.
Well, she knew that the alleged
brandishing
of a firearm.
So listen, the way he just like casually just said after the assault or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just speaks like such an idiot.
He does.
Was actually a BB gun almost instantly after from that video. But I think what she's trying to say in her case is that because you mentioned that you actually might have real firearms in the house, that might have been like a credible threat.
Yeah, but then it's like.
Did you ever at any point like actually show her a real firearm or not?
No. No.
Did you have them?
Scuff Soldier says, did you see Just a Minx OD'd? I did see that. Well, I don't know if she OD'd, but she was clearly zoinked out of her mind. You guys have probably seen this on the Drama Alert Twitter account. Here we go. Yeah, this is like the other day.
Okay.
Oh, I thought this was today. What the f is she taking, man? I thought her thing was alcohol, but obviously, yeah, it's probably multiple things.
Who knows? I mean, she could be really drunk. It could be something else. I don't know if she overdosed, though. I think overdose probably would look a little more crazy.
Perhaps.
So that's, by the way,
Were they
that's
yours
him
or,
saying
like, someone else's?
So this is this got cited in court, by the way. This is him basically saying like, yeah, I had guns in my house at some point.
Because he says perhaps because he doesn't want to. Maybe he had the foresight to think I don't want to say it definitively.
Right, but then I continue the questioning like with just the assumption like you do, you know what I mean? So I'm like, were they in, you know what I mean?
There's somebody else's.
Okay. When you say there was someone else's, like, were you using them? Like, did you take them to the range or anything?
No.
Okay. Where were you keeping them?
I was keeping it in the hurt locker.
What the? Okay.
I was about to say, you about to.
Okay. Is there any other context that you can send us that'll give us like kind of a better picture of the fact that like after you guys hung out, it was cool, you know what I mean? Or like you weren't like on bad terms or whatever? Because like you mentioned
just text messages,
right?
Just texting and stuff. And she's like, well, you know that you did grope me that one time, like.
Okay. And do you like, what do you say to that basically?
I always disagree with her. I'm like, why do you keep saying that? Like, shut the fuck up.
Does she define the groping as like the hug that you gave her before she left?
Yeah, she was like, that's assault, that's groping, and
yeah.
What's up?
This whole thing is just it's just a mess. Are we ever gonna actually know the full truth, like out in the public? Like,
well, not the full truth, but you know, you can only get a little bit closer, I guess. But I do want you to play just like maybe 30 more seconds. I think he says.
I'm cool with still playing it. I'm just saying like.
I see. Yeah.
We don't know. Nick says no because he's dead, and the reason why I'm reluctant to call Jameskii a liar because okay, if it is ultimately like the victim's wishes that they're with him is never made public and was only a part of the criminal trial and that's what they wanted, and that's real, which is a possibility, that's possible, then you know I feel bad for them. I don't want to shit on them, but on the other hand, I don't want to just believe Twomad as a file without any proof, which is why I'm not going to say that, right? So that's like it's kind of a twofold issue in my mind.
I think that's pretty fair to be honest. Like I feel like you probably get pressure both directions, you know what I mean? Like to take a stance supporting this person, that person, whatever. But at the end of the day, like I mean, I don't think you're planning a video where it's like you're going to take someone's side. Like you're just trying to understand the reality, which is a different frame. It's a different perspective than like, you know, is Jameskii in the wrong? You know what I mean? It's more like, is Jameskii is he just telling the truth? You know?
Exactly. And I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's relatively valid he feared for his life, given the things that Twomad was saying about not trusting his own intentions and wanting to kill people who were far away from him and clearly being obsessed with Twomad. I think 100%. That's valid, but past that, I just don't know.
I agree with you. Yeah. It's possible. We'll see. Like, it's possible within the next couple of days, like more will be unearthed or whatever. You know what I mean?
I'm hoping one of them just comes forward with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of why I'm waiting a little bit is I'm hoping someone will just come out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's possible.
Because like, there's no way this can just be it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Like she says like all of it was like. But yeah, she says the groping. Yeah, like I groped her breast when I made the hug thing. What?
I guess the context kind of matters for that night, just because like if she's on her way out and like literally is like pissed off, right? And then you go in for the behind the back stranger hug. That might be
replacing light bulb after.
Oh, after
the conversation we had. After the conversation we had, she leaves that room.
Yeah.
Starts changing like. Oh, and this is when she sucked my. Here, this is a video right after she sucked my balls.
Well, is it explicit or no?
No, it's not, but it's like based because this is actually the video I'm remembering now. I thought it was irrelevant, but it's not because this is literally her after she sucked my.
Imagine her doing this stuff and him killing himself? No, absolutely not.
If I was you, I would definitely be like trying to actually get like a coherent timeline just for yourself at least, you know?
Yeah, start putting
A lawyer is doing that shit.
All right,
I already started doing it. I already started doing that.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, yeah, so just send us what you got.
She's just like standing.
Andy's coming.
Bye.
The Skinwalker.
I hate this video. It's cringe on 10 levels.
There's that.
So sorry, what was the context of that one?
That's just her after she sucked my.
Okay. Okay, but like what night? Sorry.
I think it's the same day. Oh wait, was it this? Oh, I can find out. Like I click this. Yeah, same day.
Okay,
can they go logging?
Yeah, the
Michael said, Tom, you really don't feel you had this blatantly mentally unstable, incoherent, clearly psychotic person episode for the whole world to see? You don't care? Dude, have you watched any of my content?
That's a good question. Fucking conversation
funny.
you had with her that you recorded was the 20th of January at 4:52.
So this is like a few hours later.
Okay, so she's still at your place like 7. All right.
Then I hang out with my friends.
Can you send whatever? Can you send that as a screenshot, like just so I
can? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had no idea this day was gonna turn into like.
Wait, that's one of the people right there.
Right.
Wait, hold on.
Like I click this. Yeah, same day.
Okay, can you like send the timestamp or something?
That picture, that one of the people that was standing in the doorway was right there.
Yeah. Yeah. The conversation you had with her that you recorded was the 20th of January at 4:52.
Where was that picture? I just saw this picture of them sitting
Can you
at
send
like
that as a screenshot?
breakfast or something.
Yeah, they were getting food.
Just
Yeah.
so I
Okay.
Yeah, this.
Right there. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah.
Who the f is that?
Right, so the guy on the left is the guy
Scott
that,
Pilgrim.
Yeah. The guy on the left is the guy that apparently I'm
The guy that Twomad claimed.
Yes, the guy. I'm 85% sure that's the guy that Twomad claimed was, whatever. But and so that would have been the guy that like helped him write his apology, right? So this is like a photo he sent us from later that night, right? Like they showed up and then I guess they went and got food. What's the context of the picture with the friends there?
Yeah, that's just after. That's like hours, like when she leaves or whatever.
Okay.
So I hang out with friends.
All right. And this is the night that she claims like the worst happened. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, yeah, this would have to be in the same night as the alleged incidents of like oral, because, I mean, that's the clip. He said it's after that, so it all sounds like from her perspective that it was the same night. But Twomad isn't like sure, but I feel like you can piece a lot of it together by just going through. You have a lot of screenshots, so you could probably piece.
You got it. Screenshots you never piece together. Be sure, like you got to just figure it the fuck
Mhm.
out. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I'm baffled that you haven't done it yet. Like whether you're innocent or not, like you sound. It sounds like you don't even care.
Yeah, just like random stupid being sprung.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, so that video of her walking out of your bedroom, that's like after the alleged essay?
That's after the alleged oral, but she says like the intercourse was like essay too, but that was days ago. That one is easier to prove because there's messages of her being like,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'd say we've gotten as much info as we can get from that particular document. We've gotten the meat of this basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a Cheeto? That was a Cheeto. Yeah. I mean, it's Twomad a pedophile, innocent until proven guilty. So I'm inclined to say no. Basically, is Twomad a schizophrenic stalker, crazy person who didn't trust his own intentions and thought he might kill people? Yes, absolutely. That is 1000% true. So yeah.
He's so happy. This is such a happy ending to this saga.
And now he's dead. So we'll probably never know, and Jameskii won't talk about it, so whatever.
Yep. Oy, oy, oy.
Nick said, you got a Ouija board? We can ask him. Maybe he'll be honest now. Good point, dude. Summoning Twomad at 3 a.m. with J Station. Let's do it, dude.
With J Station.
J Station
That
will be
guy's
there.
still alive?
We got a slave off the deep web. Why is it
Oh,
Twomad? Is he alive? I assume he's alive. I don't know what the he's doing.
Fair enough. Yeah. Every time I revisit this case, it's just like the biggest headache ever. Anyway, how's life treating you, Tom?
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good overall. I mean,
Still hitting the gym and everything, keeping dialed in.
oh yeah, oh, dude, I'm dialed in. Yeah, just trying to keep getting huge, making videos. This has definitely been a video that's been like on my burner for a while. I've had like a partially written script for a while now.
Yeah.
Now I guess unless Jameskii or someone releases more, I can finally finish it. But I'm ultimately left with questions rather than answers.
Yeah.
Which I'm very upset about because I just wanted closure on what the went on.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yep. Fair enough.
Are you gonna be doing a video?
I saw. Well, I definitely could. I still kind of have to decide. Because the problem is that I was planning to do a main channel upload because this interview that you did, like I added a lot of editing to it and whatever. But I wanted to do a main channel version that had more editing and like was cut down to about an hour. But now that he's dead, I don't really like. I would need to change it pretty drastically. The big part that I'm like, I like about that video is just the ending, and I don't even know if the ending hits now that he's dead. But to answer your question, I don't know. I kind of basically in my mind when I learned that he died. By the way, I learned that Twomad died from Tom. Tom called me, and that was quite a moment.
Yeah, I was traveling in New Orleans at the time. I was like waiting for Wendigoon to get to my Airbnb so we could go hang out, and I just saw it on Twitter, and so you seem like the person to call. I have that call recorded. I never posted it anywhere, but I actually have that moment recorded of me reacting, and then for posterity's sake, us talking, and it was just kind of us being like, "What the," and we just sat with that for 5 minutes and then hung up.
It was. I definitely remember it not being like anything too deep. It was basically just it was
just like sitting in the feeling of it.
Yeah, because it's especially for me, it was like I spent a lot of time in Twomad's head, you know what I mean? And it's like it was not the most surprising outcome. Like me and Tom, I'm pretty sure even talked about the possibility of that happening. Like I'm sure you could have foreseen it happening, whatever, but like for me, like to be basically right at the end of finishing like the Sneeko video, and I just get a call from Tom, and it's like Twomad just died. It just like completely pulls me out of the YouTube like drama, and it's like that's real. You know what I mean? Like that is so real. Like But I'm glad that you were the person to break the news to me though, because yes, you and I definitely got a much more intimate awareness of this situation than pretty much almost anybody, like in terms of just talking to him for 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it was. Man, yeah, I don't know. That sucked, to be honest. But yeah, basically to answer your other question though, like my mentality, like I just didn't want to think about it, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to really put my head back in there. Because I just knew it would be depressing no matter what, absolutely no matter what. It would just be like, this is just going to be like bad vibes completely. So my mentality was just finish the Sneeko video and then figure it out. And so now I'm kind of like, this stream is basically the first time where I'm like seriously remembering and thinking about everything again. So I'll figure out if I'm making a video, but realistically, it'll probably take me longer than it'll take you. So yeah, we'll see. If I am, I'll definitely let you know. But yeah.
Richard said, has there been anything corroborating he'd been planning to do something bad but was stopped by an overdose? I remember Jameskii mentioning, not a specific event, but there are multiple instances where he said, I want to kill someone who's far away. There is an instance where he said, I don't trust my own intentions. I might pull a McSkillet during my schizo mode highs and, hurt some people or committed a list of crimes. So there is proof of that. Yeah. Yeah, but the strongest stuff in the doc was the first, I don't know, 10 to 20 pages, and the rest kind of increasingly got harder to follow and understand, I would say. So, I mean, there's two realities. One in which Jameskii is being truthful, and there's evidence somewhere that we're missing, which I'm going to look for. He said McSkillet. Yeah, Twomad literally said I might pull a McSkillet. He literally said that out loud. Yeah. And then there's the one where I lost my train of thought, but yeah. Let me pull this up. In the document, Control F, Skillet.
That, let's just be clear, like, that was probably the biggest, like, the most helpful or the best piece that Jameskii
that I'm
had
still
together.
Yeah.
And I definitely understand why he put this first.
Yeah.
Madly infatuated with this.
Why?
Because it's like I touched her that one time, and then she sued me, and that's why I must get my ultimate revenge.
Ultimate revenge.
Yeah, a lot of people like to scare themselves into thinking I'm like a harmless person. I could be, right? But and it's worthwhile do your due diligence to make sure that doesn't happen. But I think what's more, if I go into schizo mode for real, what's more likely is I'm going to do a mixed skillet or like getting a bunch of crimes before I go and commit murder.
I try to avoid that.
I definitely try to avoid that. 100%.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, there you go, Nick. There's your McSkillet clip, dude. Literally said it out loud. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a horrendous clip, bro. Like that's like about as sinister as you could get.
There's another great one where he that Kanklemore sent me. Let me click on this one.
This Twomad self-destructive thing. It's like even in the recording with where I was like being that girl, it's like you can tell this got his head on straight. Like, yeah, he's doing reprehensible.
Kanklemore's reaction stops typing. Eyes are just going like,
Bro, it's look at this though. Look at the top right, man. There's like probably like 5 people watching this.
Literally.
Holy
this video doesn't even have 1,000 views.
Yeah, shout out Kanklemore. What a call to have to like. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, we kind of heard it already, I think.
It's like at the end of the day, you know, Twomad did make like a lot of viewers kind of happy, right? Like he was an entertainer, like Tom said. Like he was funny.
It's particularly depressing just because the waste of talent is immense.
Yeah. I mean, look, bro. Yeah, look. Talent is so real, too. Talent is so like when I say talent's real, like I mean, you can actually get away with a lot more if people perceive you as talented. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Like think about it. Imagine if Twomad wasn't funny. Imagine if he was a Minecraft YouTuber. He's just like a boring nobody Minecraft YouTuber.
I feel like he probably could have been a good Minecraft YouTuber, actually.
Yeah, I agree. That would certainly be better than anything that he became, but yeah.
And be sure to become a member. For $5 a month, they get the members-only podcasts and exclusive videos that only members get. Thanks so much for your support.
No